Hello, I'm Dan McDowell, longtime professional broadcaster. Why subscribe to our Patreon podcast? Well, perhaps you support our struggle to get out from under the oppressive thumb of the man. Or, objectively, if you sign up at patreon.com/thedumbzone, you'll get the 2 episodes per week that are available on all podcast platforms, like this one, plus an additional 2 episodes each week that are exclusive to Patreon. So subscribing on Patreon gets you 4 episodes per week. Oh my, what a bargain. Now, on to today's program.
The Dumb Zone.
I've had over 40 pizzas in the last 30 days, and it's not the same pizza. It's not the same product. It just doesn't taste as good. The way they're making the pizza, the way they're putting the pizza together is just not fundamentally sound to what makes a Papa John's pizza a Papa John's pizza.
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. I never listen.
John Schnatter. Is that right? Is that how you say his name?
That is right. The Papa.
It's a big day for him. Find out later why.
Okay.
A little tease. Time spent listening. You will excel if we get that.
TSL leads to excel.
So today is happy Thursday. Happy post-business Wednesday to you and yours. It's Thursday, July 11th.
Do it.
Free Slurpee Day.
Fantastic, yeah.
I forgot.
I believe they changed it up a little bit. I looked this morning.
You get an extra small?
No, well, yeah, they always give you the little cup. No girls, just one little cup. And I think this year it is you get a coupon for another Slurpee later in the month. I'm not sure.
You can't just walk in and get a Slurpee and walk out?
That's the way it was in the past. But times are a-changing.
I can't stand that. They do that with pizza now.
What do you mean?
Like,
They offer you a free pizza?
next week.
Right. They know.
Like, well, I don't want one next week. I already feel bad enough about this one.
I want 2 now.
Yeah.
My wife is out of town now.
Yeah. She may not be out of town next week.
Anyway,
So I
I'm
don't
Dan
know.
McDowell.
I'm Jake Kim.
I'm Blake Jones.
Show number 198. So get excited, boys,
yeah.
for, I guess, Monday.
Yeah.
Monday will be a big round number. And maybe you can get your second smoothie then.
I'm thrown off by him.
Not smoothie, Slurpee.
What did I do now?
By Blake Jones?
Yeah, just like the fact that he's sitting at the bar.
Yeah, so today we are not broadcasting high atop my garage. I believe we're at what might be termed a 960 remote, Blake?
The first 960.
How about that?
Because we're not in Grapevine.
Right, well, we did
No.
the 690 sit-ins and offered that as a remote. And I guess it's all, you know what business is? It's a game of supply and demand.
Is there a demand? Yeah.
And apparently the demand was getting to such a level where Blake said, we shouldn't just go out for, we should up it a little bit. So he upped it a little bit. It's really based, it's for Blake's pocketbook. He's the guy that does most of this stuff. He gets out here early. He sets it all up. He's here late. He's breaking it all down. It's more of a beating for Blake for sure.
I got to the point where
He actually isn't making any more for doing these.
Well, it was
Making more than he was, though.
The process was, hey, I'm interested in a 690. What are my options? Well, you can come to us to the den, or we can drive to your house. And that just felt to me that those should not be the same price.
They shouldn't be.
Yeah. Fair.
So yeah, I want my extra $50 or whatever that we get off the top of
fair.
it.
Well, where we are is Waxahachie, which is well within the radius of 100 miles, or what is it, 96 miles from the 9/11 Memorial in Grapevine.
Not a tough drive down.
We have a lot of. I was telling Raymond yesterday from E6 Sportswear on Business Wednesday was
DumbZoneMerch.com.
was having a little fun with him, just a little ribbing. Like, hey, that sounds like a properly a Raymond, a quite confusing contest that you're running there. He's like, oh, yeah, but it's not that confusing. All you have to do is, and I'm like, okay, no, I'm just joking around. But we do have a very confusing system for 690, 960, video.
If you host us, it's 960. If we drive to you, it's 960. You come to us, 690.
And then we also got sales. So if it's a business, now you gotta
see. That's not me.
Yeah,
that's a whole different issue.
Department.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're in Waxahachie, and we're here for Tom Vendries. I know him as Tom. Grab the mic there, Tom.
Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Hi, Tom.
How you doing?
Very good.
Strong supporter, a listener,
He's got animals.
a subscriber. Oh, my God.
He's got all the animals.
Like, if you move to Waxahachie,
Do you have to do it?
is that part of the, it's not like a neighborhood association. It's like a city association. Like, you must own a rooster. And you seem to have quite a few of those.
We do have a couple of cocks here.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's been sitting on that all morning.
Yep.
I would imagine chickens, because you need somewhere to put those cocks, correct?
That's absolutely true.
Do you, eat your own eggs?
Absolutely.
Yeah? Are you
Eat the
healthier, or
eggs.
are you...
You can taste the difference.
For real?
Absolutely.
I'm hoping the show goes well enough that he gives me some to take home.
A few eggs?
Yeah.
Plenty of eggs.
They have
Okay.
They have horses,
He should put them in a couple of different baskets, though.
pigs.
Because you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah.
That is the...
Ridiculous.
Yes, horses, pigs. You told me a tale of how you have... He has a rescue horse and a rescue pig.
That's correct.
So if there's a wayward pig in Waxahachie and it shows up at your front door, which this pig did, you will take it in
Absolutely.
and nurture it as your own, and you won't even eat it.
As my wife Jennifer took me in.
Is that what she did?
Yeah.
You showed up at her door? And,
She could also beat your ass.
well, that's a long line of people, and including ladies, that can do it. And I would like it. So...
Fair enough.
As we were walking up, you're like, oh, yeah, we have a couple of emus.
Mm-hmm.
Emu, did you say? Is it emu or emu?
I think you
Emu.
say emu.
Okay. Who did emu?
I did.
Okay.
That's me.
I knew this was a callback.
Yeah, I said emu. Probably just because I played Pokemon growing up.
And also, as we're walking over there, Tom is telling me about the emus. And he's like, oh, yeah, they just hatched, and we took them and all this. And I was thinking, boy, this Tom's an idiot. An emu doesn't hatch out of an egg. Certainly you mean they were born, and then...
How would you have supposed that they were born?
I thought an emu was kind of... I don't know. The only emu I really am familiar with, I know Dale Hansen had a couple.
It's a bird.
Well, I might not have known that. So... The emu that I am familiar with is from Napoleon Dynamite. It's really big.
Tina?
Yeah, and it doesn't look like it could fly anywhere.
No.
So
you're thinking of...
So I just thought it was born like a horse. Horses aren't in eggs, right? No, they're not. Good.
No.
So I just thought, it plopped out, and he meant that. Mm-hmm. And then, yes, as I saw when you were a baby emu, which they have, a couple baby emus, they look more bird-like. Mm-hmm. So then I felt shame.
They took to me quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you say? Yeah.
Really like Jake.
Yeah.
Okay.
They look like little raptors.
Yeah. Birds are
Dinosaurs.
like the oldest thing, right? That and cockroaches. How's that look on a business card, on a
I
T-shirt?
think that plays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Birds and cockroaches are the oldest.
The oldest things. Like, look, my kids stopped paying attention to me when they got to be teenagers or so, but before that, that's what I would tell them. They're like, what's a bird? And I'd be like, it's the oldest thing on Earth.
So speaking of that, I did want to run two things by you.
Mm-hmm.
One of which was yesterday we had the first time that we'd ever had kid friends over at the house.
Okay, like play date?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
That weren't your friends' kids?
No.
Okay, this was totally...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the times that they've done this before, like they go to the park, right? Like they go to Wall Ball, Park.
I believe it's called Ball and Wall.
Okay.
And it bothers me every time you get it wrong.
Okay. Well,
As a grapevine guy.
I'm very sorry that I
You've
mixed that up.
offended William D. Tate.
But they were just at the house, and it was, I don't know, it's weird. It's like another parent's kids, and they hit me and, punch me in the stomach, and I don't know.
And you punch them back?
I don't think you can do that, Blake.
See, that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem with woke society.
Right.
Used to.
Yeah,
Right.
when I watch Mad Men,
Just slap them around a little bit.
if they spill your highball,
But
you gotta give them a nice slap.
I just remember, like, your take on this was that it takes till about 11 or 12 before they start, like, laughing at you.
Yeah,
I'm still at they think I'm cool,
right.
but I can feel that it's already moving.
And feel knowledgeable. They think you know things.
Yeah, and I think that 11 or 12 date, I think it's going to get lower.
Yeah, because kids are getting smarter,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They're rolling through the iPads.
Yeah.
Have you even thought about what is your date for a phone? You own a phone.
For the kid?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
because the iPhone was created during my kids' lifetimes.
yeah.
And then the pressure was on immediately because, as you will find out, every other kid in school has
Before
blank,
yours.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
And yes, so my kids will still tell the tale of we were, the last
last
people that
ones
had an iPhone, the last ones that saw an R movie.
Yeah.
This line will move as Brooks gets older, but I don't know the point of it before a car.
That's when I got mine.
That line's going to way move. I think I can't remember the age right now, but certainly it was well before a car. Well before.
Because they're at school, I guess.
I don't know. It's just
Well, I mean, for them, it's
again, everyone
it's
had one.
peer pressure, right? But for you, if you want to be a little practical, you don't need to be staying up in your room on your phone talking to your friends or getting on the internet.
Well, we did have plug in your phone downstairs when you go to bed.
Yeah, and I think I'll do that.
And that went to a certain time.
Yeah, I think
fought it as long as I could.
I think there are two things about it. One is it's like what we were talking about the other day. People get way too concerned about, is there going to be a school shooting? Like, so you think your kid needs to have a phone so that they can call you in the event that there's like a danger situation. But that's, what, 0.0001%? That's not going to happen.
Yeah, that came up in the Columbine book a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
that you just didn't know where your kid was.
Yeah.
And that was the case for cell phones in that age.
Yeah, and I think like media...
Now it might be just a tracking system. You want to see that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the second part of it is just, isn't there a way that you can like have a kid phone that's not connected to the internet?
Yeah, they're starting to come out with those. I think I saw a billboard for one.
But it would be still make a phone call?
Phone call, but no internet.
Probably to a
no social media, but phone call.
Probably to a set number of phones.
Yeah.
Maybe like 5 or 6 pre-programmed numbers in there you can call.
I'm telling you, though, you're going to run your...
They'll figure it
But
out.
but my friend had...
No, I know.
They're allowed.
No, you're right. He'll have a cell phone at 6. I know
Yeah.
it. I just know it.
6.
That dude rolls through that iPad as if... Like,
He
I could
already-
probably ask him how to...
He already knows how to use it.
Yeah.
He's watched us put in the passcode, so he knows it.
Yeah.
He knows how to get to Disney Plus and the downloaded movies, and I mean, it did not take him very long.
No, Brooks is how old now?
2.5.
2.5? He was over last week. I told you, my wife really loves watching him and all that. And I didn't know how to route it. I'm like, what? You could log in, and he did it.
He said, Dan, this whole Governor Abbott thing, you might need this.
Yeah, he's like,
Here's what I found out.
That's awesome.
We have a lot of sports on today's program. We also have some non-sports, and I wanted to start with a funny prank that I think one of our listeners could play on you guys. I had this idea last night, and I think it would be hilarious.
Okay.
So, because we do have our California trip planned, we have an RV and everything. We got a great dude who's going to drive us. He's already sending emails. He's mapping out the trip. He's looking at hotels, possible bits to do on the way. Like, he seems to be more into it than we are right now, which is great.
Yeah, I think that's
what we need.
Just you, but fine.
Okay, I guess I haven't seen all those replies from you on how great the ideas that you have for the trip. This guy has big ideas.
All right.
Go on, respond.
No, I just feel like you're getting upset with me, and I just want you to be invested in this trip.
Well, I was thinking this funny prank.
Okay.
So a listener, they could offer to, and do it. You fly me on your private jet. Just me, though. Because before we were throwing out the vibe of, hey, what if somebody flew us all on a private jet? That's probably asking a lot.
Yeah.
But how funny would it be, knowing how mad these guys would be, and we're on a private jet, we're drinking champagne, we're doing stuff that you do on private jet. I'm just guessing what they do on private jets.
Yep.
Smoking cigars. I don't know. You probably do whatever you want on a private jet.
Peach.
It's a private jet. You fly me, then the other guys have to, then we land, you guys get there and you're all tired and I'm fresh and ready to go. I've already had fish tacos, and wouldn't that be funny? It'd be hilarious. Like, that would get you guys so good.
That's a great prank.
Yeah. So, if anyone out there wants to contact me.
But if, of the three of us, the person that would get the most mad they weren't on the PJ would be Dan. So it might be funnier if they took us and not you.
That's a really good point, Blake.
Well, it's part of the fairness doctrine is Jake is already flying home.
Yeah, okay.
And I think everybody wants to see Dan and Jake be equal.
Yeah.
And because Jake already has such a leg up on Dan in so many different areas that we need to elevate me just a little bit. So
I do think
just throwing it out there. I'm not spitballing.
I do think I know he's out. You may be in, though, Dan.
For what?
Disneyland.
Why would Dan may be in?
I don't know. I feel like you might just like to go hang out with the kid.
You love kid stuff, especially when your kids aren't around.
Yeah, I like to just stand back and watch all the other kids. I'd like to see him ride that ride,
especially ones with braces.
I don't know. I thought there was possibly a chance that you could like that.
No, absolutely not. Why would I ever do that? Like, I don't mind.
I don't know.
Going
just content,
again. Huh?
Just like from a content standpoint, like.
Okay, if it's doing it for the show and what's it like being one guy walking around, but I don't think I want to go to Disneyland. That seems like a high dollar content play too.
I mean, certainly I would pay for it.
Like, what if we go to...
But it's also not close.
Yeah, what if we just go to Venice Beach?
Yeah.
I know we've done that before. You're going to go to Disneyland? Your kid's going to come out there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're on a 2-week trip.
Yeah.
And so Jake's bringing sand to the beach.
That's right, yeah.
That's what I call bringing your little kid, because there's so many great little kids you could have out in California.
Well, we're going to celebrate your birthday on the RV.
That's true.
Oh, that's right. You will be on the RV on your birthday?
Yes.
What day is that?
Monday, August 5th.
August 5th. Is it a big round number?
No. I'm going to be 39.
It's kind of round, right? 3 times 13?
Yeah.
Those numbers are round. Both of those numbers have various bumps on them that are round. They're not really pointy numbers.
Enough. 8585, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
So I went this morning.
Let's retire that number.
I went this morning to my son had the tubes put in his ears for ear infections, I suppose. And they asked me his birthday, and I definitely didn't remember.
What is it?
It's 10/7/2023.
10/7/20.
2022.
Oh.
Yeah, see? Right?
Yeah.
But they, they asked me to fill out,
That's why you
50
need a nice,
pages of paperwork.
You need an 85/85.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
That's real easy.
Yeah.
Wife
Or-
forgot too, so
June 6th.
I didn't feel too
06.
bad. Luca, not day.
Yeah. Not even close, really. It's a month and a day off.
The tubes really work.
That's what I've heard.
What are we talking here?
Brooks had the same thing where every time he got sick, he would get an ear infection.
Yeah.
Where fluid would just get in his ear and not be able to get out, I guess. And so the weird part is that they have to put him under, which
Yeah.
was really scary for me.
It is scary, and the
Did they use
funniest.
a big mallet?
No.
Yeah, they just smash his head in.
Yeah. Like a cartoon?
The funniest part is I don't know if you've ever dabbled with pain pills, getting high.
I have not. I've never been into that.
I am not at all,
Yeah.
but I have done it.
RV?
I have a buddy who, back in the day, if I ever got, I had whatever happened and they gave me some pain pills, I would
He's
just
like,
give them to
Can
him.
you peel them off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah. You like them? I don't.
So
He likes to have one and with a nice beer.
Just sold them.
they put the medicine in his mouth, and within 10 minutes, dude, he is a different person.
Mm-hmm.
Like awesome? He's calm?
He's just laughing.
Uh-huh.
He's just out of it.
No, there's a big guilt for me.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm doing this to a 1.5-year-old.
Yeah. And I'm trying to talk to him, and he's just giggling. I don't know. It's kind of funny to see your kid high.
Yeah. He's learning that drugs are great.
Yeah.
High at 8 a.m. I mean, those are early surgeries.
Yeah, it was it was 7:45 in the morning, and he was just giggling.
And then I have a non-sports that's kind of sports as well, because the wife the other night had I don't know what it was, neighborhood ladies dinner something, and it was great.
Fantastic.
Right?
Yeah.
And what comes with that is the post-game show, which she gave me yesterday. So it was 2 nights ago. She went out and had the house to myself. It was great. And then last night she wanted to give me the post-game, which is the neighborhood goss.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nobody's doing goss.
I think lots of people are. You're just not as hip as I am.
It's possible.
So the neighborhood we live in, you guys are very familiar with, but it's quite a mix. It's a very old neighborhood. Some would say used to be a field. Mm-hmm. But then they put a lot of tiny houses on it in this neighborhood. 60 years ago, 70 years ago. In fact, the lady that lives at the end of one of our 3 cul-de-sacs that I live on was born in her house, and she still lives there.
Wow.
You've heard of people like this.
Yeah.
That have lived in one house their whole life. It's, 1,800 square feet, and she's lived there, and she's going to die there, and she's, blah, blah, blah.
And it's worth 10 times more than what her parents.
10?
No, that's
20 times more. Yeah.
60 years ago?
Yeah.
We're talking about $1 million. I don't know.
Yeah.
They probably just said, I claim this.
Yeah.
They just had to kill a couple of pesky Native American. Well, that's probably a lot longer than 60 years ago.
Yeah.
The point is, that's some of our neighborhood is that. That's a lower percentage every day, though, because people will come in and buy one of those houses and tear it down right away and then build a giant house.
Yeah.
Now, then there's some medium houses. I consider our house, if you drove through there, to be one of the medium houses, because and then the little tiny ones we're medium, and then they got these big giant mansions that are worth millions of dollars. Well, one of the fears from many of the people is that a developer will come in, because a lot of people own lots of land, like Tom here in Waxahachie, but they'll own a few acres. But a developer will buy a few acres and say, oh, that's cool that you have one house on that few acres. What if I put like 7 houses here, or even more, like as many as local laws will allow for, and we stuff them all on there, and then, the neighborhood doesn't like that. It's a bunch of old people generally, and like we're the young people in the neighborhood. So anytime there is land for sale, or one of these old people with a bunch of land dies, there's always a lot of worry. Now, sometimes some of the neighbors will band together and say, let's buy that piece of land so that it's not torn up, and then we sell it to somebody that we approve, which also seems a little civil rights-y, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's more to keep the developers out. But there was some piece of land at the end of our street that nobody knows, nobody knew how to. Anyway, they were really worried for quite some time. All the hand-wringing has been about a developer. The developer going to buy that? Oh, my God, it's going to stop. Well, it turns out that the rest easy. Mm-hmm. One buyer. He's going to buy that land. He's going to rip down the house and build 2 houses on it, a mother-in-law house and then their house. And apparently this buyer is a former New York Met whose name is Blake something. So they don't know if the first name is Blake or the last name is Blake. Like, this is my wife yesterday was telling me, this is the ladies' dinner. She's like, oh, Melissa's husband.
Is it not Blake Snell?
He was not a Met.
She's like positive it was a former New York Met.
Blake Snell was definitely in it.
He was a Ray and then now a Padre.
I wouldn't argue with Blake Jones on
That's a good point, Dan. That's a really
current
good point.
baseball players.
And I just want to be clear, his
Blake
name is
Bevan
not
ever played in
Shin
Mets?
No,
Tzu.
it's not Chu, because I asked, because she was telling me which cul-de-sac it's going to be on, and I was like, this is where because Shin Tzu Chu, similarly, a couple of years ago, bought 2 houses and then turned that into 1.
Is this
Like, he bought 2 lots, so he
Blake
owns like 5.
Tibieri?
No,
Blake?
my guess is it's Blake Bevan. Local kid, pitched
There's
for the Mets.
no way he made that much money, though.
How much did Blake Bevan make? Look at the...
No way, dude.
I was just looking at today's War Games winner. He was some guy who played in the 50s you've never heard of. He had a 15-year career, and he made a total of $220,000.
Blake Bevan made $518,000. He is not moving into your neighborhood.
Well, he's not. Yeah, just buying the
like
2 houses or whatever.
The 2-house lot. Yeah,
He got a bonus though.
he did get a signing bonus.
Probably a couple million.
That's
Is it
my
that
guess. I
much,
don't know.
though?
I was trying to think of like local guy.
I'm going to keep you guys
please do.
informed on this
Thank
because
you. I really appreciate
I'm sure.
that.
In fact, my wife told me this. This is not me being misogynistic. It's her. She said so-and-so's husband definitely knows who he is. So we'll get to the bottom of this. But she did not have dinner with the husbands. She only had dinner with
You
the
know what's weird
ladies.
is I guess it doesn't really happen as much in Southlake, but in Grapevine, they have like really, really strict laws about like knocking down houses and building. I don't know if it's like a historical thing or...
Yeah, downtown Grapevine. Well,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
how William D. Tate, we've always talked about him trying to keep it with that small town feel.
Yeah. So I don't think you could do a Shin Tzu Chu move.
In fact, because I lived,
Pretty
over
close.
by Yates in Grapevine,
Yeah.
and I think there was a lot of discussion when they were buying an acre across from Yates. Were they allowed to put 4 houses on that 1 acre, or do they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
All right. Anyways, indeed. Now's the portion of the program where we do sports. And Blake tells me that today's sports is brought to us by Prosper Ford.
How about that?
The great Chaz Gilmore, of course, owns Prosper Ford. I've known Chaz for over a decade now because did ads for a long time for Grapevine Ford. And then he said, I want to make my own dealership. So, Prosper used to be all a field, and he bought some land and then put a new dealership up there called Prosper Ford. It is a state-of-the-art dealership. It is just about brand new. It's wonderful. They've got new and certified pre-owned, of course, from electric cars and two-door coupes to full-size trucks and SUVs. The Ford F-150 is a huge seller, of course. I've been driving the Bronco Sport.
Dude, you look so hot in that.
I love it.
You do.
I actually have been driving, the Explorer for a long time, but that's kind of because I had the two kids and a bunch of stuff always to carry around. The Bronco Sport, though, is a nice little get you around, perfect size. I love it. Anyway, Prosper Ford is the place to go. Fast trade-in value, no hassle financing, and competitive specials. So check them out online at prosperford.com or up the tollway in Prosper. Go to Prosper Ford and give Chaz a big hug for us here on the Dumb Zone. Sports.
Yes, sports indeed. It's kind of weird, right? The day that I heard that Klay was possibly going to become a Maverick, I didn't love it. But then you can just talk yourself into anything.
Yeah, I mean, what's the option? The thing is, if you had the, what else were you going to do?
Retain Derek Jones Jr. and just run it back. And
would you rather have that?
I don't know, but I know that they went 16-2 to end the season before they punted those last two. Was it 2 or 3 games?
2 at least.
Yeah, the tank games, not tank, but rest.
Don't care. Yeah.
So they went 16-2 when they made the finals. So what else I would do is see if that team could win again.
And he's young.
Yeah,
Derek
he's
Jones
25, 26.
Yeah.
Klay's 34 and
right.
Considerably more expensive.
And Derek Jones can dunk and stuff.
He can dunk and stuff, but that wasn't necessarily my impetus for wanting to keep him. It was just, I think that the team was pretty good.
Yeah.
And now they have Klay. So I'm going to play you a little bit of audio from Klay.
Yeah, they had their introductory press conference yesterday.
Yeah, they did the whole thing. They did Quentin Grimes, Najee Marshall, and Klay, which honestly feels a little bit weird. It kind of feels like whenever they had Dwight Powell and Rajon Rondo.
Yeah, and what was the other one? They had Tim Hardaway, KP, Sterling Brown.
You're we really only care about one
this
person.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably because no one would go to the Quentin Grimes press conference,
Yeah, but then you got to ask him one question.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what does it mean to you to come to Dallas?
Yeah.
But everybody's there to hear Klay Thompson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is a huge national story.
Yeah.
I think it's bigger nationally almost than it is here. Because it's him leaving the Warriors. In fact, I heard Windy kind of...
Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, their conjecture is it's going to be Warriors. It's going to be Mavs at Warriors on Christmas Day.
Ooh.
If you're trying to predict the schedule. Which I think the NBA is really good about.
Matchups.
Yeah, they're very good at that, aren't they? KD's leaving. LeBron left Cleveland. He's going back to Cleveland. We're going to put it on Christmas Day.
Then they put Mavs Suns on Christmas last year or 2 years ago.
After the finals? Or the second round of the playoffs, yeah.
Before you play your audio, I think he's going to look really weird in 31.
Because it's Terry's number?
It's Jet, but I don't know. It just looks like it's too big of a number for him.
Is he 11?
Yeah,
okay.
which
is Kyrie. And
yeah.
Was Klay born on the 11th day of the 11th month?
I think he's his 11th point. Yeah. Yes. That's all I had.
I mean, it is kind of a shooter's number, though.
I mean, he did cite Jet.
Yeah.
He's like, I always dreamed about wearing Jason Terry's number.
Yeah.
Here, let me play a little bit of this. Am I up, Blake?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I'm not up at all.
Might need that cable.
Yeah, might need it.
Well, I mean, whether you play basketball or work in the corporate world or wherever, whatever industry, sometimes change just can spur greatness, and a new change of scenery can do wonders. And I'm very grateful for my time at Golden State, but I just felt like, you know, moving on could just re-energize me and do something special for the rest of my career. And Dallas was so attractive because of the young players they have, the style of play, the you know, world-class treatment these players get from this organization, and just a beautiful city who loves their hoops. So when I was watching the playoffs and I'm watching the Mavs, you know, make a run for the championship, I just saw myself fitting in really well with this team and the personnel, and they look like they have fun playing with each other and they play for each other, and that was very attractive for me. And that's really all I needed to see, and there's mutual interest there, and that's why I'm here.
I do think it's kind of cool.
Feels good, man.
It does feel good, right?
Yeah.
Like, I do think it's kind of cool to hear him say, it seems like these guys like each other.
Yeah.
Like,
I
we
mean,
did-
obviously, he's going to be saying good stuff.
Yeah, but you don't have to say that, though.
No.
You know, I mean, look across the Metroplex, and we're talking about the Cowboys with, does anybody actually want to be there? And it does feel like, and the craziest part about it is that it feels like it's all Kyrie-based.
Yeah, well, they had it the conference finals run.
I
They
know.
had Theo Pinson standing there.
It's probably
Kid
I think
probably
Kyrie
deserves
is like-
a lot of credit.
who? Kid?
Yeah, I guess.
Kyrie is a big part. I think you pointed this out a couple years ago even. I think players like him especially are saying, this guy, Luka, I'm going to be a better player because he's my teammate.
He'll make me
Like,
some money.
My stats will be good
Yeah.
because he is, you know, it's weird when you read the stuff about Luka, you know, every year mid-season is like, do people like playing with Luka? Is he just a ball hog and this and that? And I think they do. I think Luka gets guys way big open looks, and you got to think, you know, sometimes when it was just Luka and Kyrie on the floor, you're like, well, where else are we going to? Well, now if you got this guy over there too, you got to really be aware. You can't leave him open at all, and that half a step or whatever that you got to take towards Klay is going to leave Luka more room or Kyrie more room to do what they can do.
Yeah.
I'm talking myself into it too, man.
Yeah, and I mean,
Like, just as far as consistently shooting, getting open looks consistently, that's where you can say Klay versus Derek Jones or whatever is like, okay, I mean, Derek Jones, the track record isn't there. Klay can still shoot.
yeah, I mean, obviously the biggest part is the defensive, you know, step back, but whatever. I mean, it's Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing too about it is Derek Lively's about to become like an all-star.
He kind of already was playing like that at the end of last year.
Yeah. So he's what, 20 now? Did he
Right.
just turn 20? 5 years from now, what is Derek Lively? A top 5 center in the NBA on a team with Luka?
Expensive.
Very,
You hope so.
Very expensive, but also at that point you're moving on from probably from Kyrie and Klay.
Yeah,
But
5 years.
They're just in a good spot. They're in a good spot.
Yeah, no, it's very exciting, man.
I'll play a little bit more of this.
Tim Cato with The Athletic. Klay, you obviously were in the league when Luka entered and debuted. I'm curious your thoughts on, first impressions of him and what you've seen from him as he's gone from a rookie to a superstar, and then the other two, Najee, Quentin. I'm just curious what your expectations are, to play with Luka. What you think it's going to look like, feel like, be like.
Y'all got it.
I did appreciate Klay being like, your turn.
Go ahead, guys.
Everybody knows Luka is one of the top players in the NBA, so I feel like our job is to go out there, play as hard as we can, and just try to get back to the position they was in last year, and hopefully win the championship. And then playing with Luka, he makes everybody else on the court job a lot easier. For me as a shooter, just coming in, just learning from Klay, one of the best shooters to ever touch a basketball. So playing with Luka to be fun because he draws so much attention defensively. So I'm ready to knock down open shots, make plays, and just do whatever I can to help this team win.
Yeah, kind of like Q said, Luka's an amazing player. So just to learn from him and, just to play with him, make the game easier for him. Even to learn from like Klay and Quinn, who are great shooters. So I'm just excited to play with everybody, looking forward to it. But yeah, Luka's an amazing player, and just to make the game easier for him.
And I don't want to be here right now.
I mean, Najee and Quentin said it. Luka, even before he got in the NBA, you watch his EuroLeague highlights, and you're like, this 18-year-old is doing this to grown men? It's crazy. So the impact he had on a rookie, too, you could see that he had greatness ahead of him. I mean, pretty sure he gave us a triple-double in Oracle, like in 2019 as a rookie, and I don't think that's happened to us since maybe like a LeBron or Tim Duncan. So you saw the potential early, and I think just playing off him, Kai, and the rest of the guys, I can help them space the floor and knock down shots or play defense, whatever's needed.
Still using us for the Warriors.
Yeah.
We'll have to get that out of the vernacular.
He'll always have that.
And he also says them.
For the Mavs?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't note that. But
yeah, he says us and them.
And that's not – I do like listening to those answers, so maybe it is a good question. But I'm like, that's a question that you're asking because you need the right words for your column. And
yeah, but I also
obviously
think it's cool that Klay remembers like a 5-year-ago triple-double in the Bay.
Yeah, and I guess if it is a rarity, you'll remember it.
Yeah.
Clearly, he's the veteran who has been, you think Kyrie. Okay, Kyrie's been there. He's done it once, and it was monumental. And he's played with a great superstar before, so he knows how to defer Kyrie. But Klay's got that exact same thing, and even more almost, because he's had to live in the shadow of Steph.
I would say not almost.
What?
I would say he is the most level superstar ever. Right? Like, didn't Kerr say that? Like, he called him the most low-maintenance superstar he's ever been around. Like, Kyrie's come a long way. Klay's always been this way.
Right. Kyrie's still...
you know what? If I
There's
wake
always
up,
the 10% chance.
If I wake up tomorrow and he's like at a Proud Boys rally, I'm gonna be like, well,
he's Kyrie. Yeah.
Yeah, but with Klay, it's just he just does his thing. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, and it really only started going downhill for him in Golden State this year, and I think it was because he knew he wasn't getting a contract.
Yeah, I mean, it really started going downhill when he missed 2 straight years.
Well, yeah, that's true.
But they also won after that.
Yeah, and that was part of their calculation on when doling out the contracts.
Yeah.
And you had to wonder, probably the big thing for him, well, I don't know. We've all read that article, right? Is it Ramona Shelburne?
Yeah.
The whole, Draymond got, obviously Steph's going to be Steph, so no one's Steph. He's going to be maxed out till he's dead. Or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Draymond getting maxed, there's a question there. I don't know.
See, I don't even think that was it. I think it was Jordan Poole,
And then Jordan Poole is like, hey, here's your successor.
Yeah.
He's going to be the next one. Let's make sure we lock him up because we can't lose him. And then you see what happened with that. That blew
Andrew
up in his face.
Wiggins.
And then Wiggins got
Andrew
his
Wiggins,
deal.
kind of same thing.
Yeah.
He hadn't been there helping build this brick by brick. Like, so Klay is like, it should have been a different order. I should have been in there.
Yeah.
And they were making the calculation that, his age, his injury history, I mean, they paid him max money for a couple years to not play. But again, they paid max money then to a guy who turned out to be kind of a clown and
definite clown.
Yeah.
And
So
Jordan Poole. You know what's funny is I don't know if this would have like altered the trajectory of things at all, but you know how many times I've mentioned to you that like NBA, like in MVP and all defense voting like alters contracts.
yeah.
Klay lost like $100 million
From what?
not being selected
like
for
all
second
NBA?
team All NBA. Yeah, I think that was it.
That's ridiculous.
Again, I don't know that
It's-
means that he's going to like stay there or anything like that, but it's just
It
so
is weird.
stupid that
The Players Association did it.
yeah,
I mean, that's what they negotiated.
yeah,
And it was it was for the guys at the top, right?
yeah.
Chris Paul was a big player in the Players Association.
I think he was the president.
He was the president. LeBron is sitting around like, hey, wait, best friends with Chris Paul, by the way, too.
Yeah. Banana boat.
And it's like, hey, wait. I go to Cleveland and their franchise value changes by $400 million, yet I can only make $20 million a year, the same as, like, there should be a supermax.
Yeah.
And, well, how do we figure out who's the supermax? Well, I don't know. What if you're all NBA by the time you're whatever age? I mean, that really benefited Luka.
They just kept moving it.
Yeah, because Luka's making
Well, yeah, Derrick Rose was the first one,
40
right?
or 50, right?
Yeah. So, anyways, I don't know. He's an interesting cat.
Yeah, no, I can't wait. I can't wait to see how it works. Now, I guess the negative could be, like, let's talk the negative. Because we're all just defense. Shooting does fall off. He doesn't, can't fit in because now you kind of got three guards out there. You're not, like, we've already established he's not coming off the bench. Because that would be really something if he did.
I don't. No, he's probably starting, and I think Jake has said they've said as much. But he talked about Jason Terry a lot. Terry was the sixth man for that team.
Terry did,
and closed because that's what matters is who closes.
Yeah, you can get sixth man of the year, get yourself that award.
Sure,
play 35 minutes or however many
play
minutes
the same,
a game.
Yes,
yet you're not starting. Air quotes.
Yeah.
Wonder if he'd do it. I wonder if they'd even bring it to him.
Yeah, I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
I just think that would be the perfect go-between where Kyrie checks out 5 minutes into the game. Here comes Klay. Luka subs out. Kyrie comes in. Klay stays. Like, Klay is always with one of them.
I mean, I think like Dan said, you should never have a time where two of them are not on the floor together.
Yeah, right.
So,
but that's going to be hard if they're all starting.
That will be hard. And also now Klay Thompson at 34 years old has to guard a wing.
Well, he's going to have to guard, their best ball handler.
Yeah.
Because that's what you lost in Derrick Jones.
And PJ's a big, so
you're guarding.
You want PJ to guard, a point guard, a shooting guard?
That's what you're going to have to ask him to do.
Yeah.
Your De'Aaron Foxes and SGAs, like that's going to fall on.
That's trouble.
Yeah. And that's why I was upset seeing Derrick Jones go because he was so good at that.
Just score 130 a game.
Well, and that might end up being it's Derrick Jones's fault because
he switched agents.
His agent situation and all that. And who knows? Maybe he takes a deal real early with the Mavs and they don't go after Klay. I don't know.
Well, if nothing else, it'll be fun. I mean, watching him put up shots in a Mavericks warm up yesterday or whenever it was, Tuesday. That was awesome.
And doesn't it feel good that he said no to the Lakers to come here? Like, somebody did it.
Yeah.
Someone came to the Mavs.
Yeah.
Like, ever.
Right.
Yeah.
A big-name free agent, when they had other offers out there, like, everyone
for more years and more money.
Always chosen the other offer. The Lakers are more money. Dad played there. He's a California guy anyway. Like, everything was going against the Mavs there.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
But the narrative that people don't want to play with LeBron now, which there may may be something to that at this stage in his
Oh,
career.
People want to play with LeBron and Bronny.
Bronny, though. Yeah.
That's a new wild card.
The Bronny thing is so weird, man.
He's not very good.
No, I don't think he played a lot at USC, right?
No.
I think he scored 5 points a game.
He got a 4-year deal.
Guaranteed.
Have you seen like the bit where people are alleging that ESPN is in bed with the NBA, which they certainly are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And that they're even more so in bed with the Lakers, just like because that's their machine. You know, they're the Lakers, the Cowboys. So when their Twitter or whatever social media put out like a after their first summer league game, where I think one of Bronny's teammates, one of the other guys, scored like 30, but they put out a picture of Bronny, and it said 21, 4, and 2, something like that. And so you just see it. You don't see what 21, 4, and 2 means, but you think, oh, that's a good debut.
Game. Yeah.
Well, it was 21 minutes. When you look at the fine print, 4 points, 2 rebounds.
Okay. Yeah. Per 36, though.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Other sports, Blake?
Yeah. I'd like to play. What do we call, touch the clip?
What is that?
I think I like it.
Okay.
Is that the one where you take a clip of audio but you expand it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got a clip here of Mike Gundy
Yeah. Oh,
at
geez,
Big 12
dude.
Media Days.
Oh, my God.
And
That's right. That's going on in Dallas.
No.
Oh, wait. Not SEC is happening in Dallas. Sorry. Next week.
Big 12 moved to Vegas.
Okay.
It was always at AT&T. It was always downtown Dallas. Now it's in Vegas. Mike Gundy, the head coach of Oklahoma State, he's the guy with the mullet. He's been there forever. He was a man. He was 40, 15 years ago. Go ahead.
I have a problem with how much he's dyeing his hair.
Mike Gundy?
Yeah.
It's very dark.
Okay. I'm going to have to take a look at him.
Do you think I should do that?
Dye your hair?
Your hair is jet black, dude.
10 years from now, it's not going to be.
Are you afraid of graying?
I'm not. I actually
Maybe
think
you have to do it now.
I think it looks cool to be gray.
Like, didn't Cuban
But
say he
Gundy,
started?
like, look it up, dude.
Okay.
Like, he looks like suspiciously black-haired. And everyone saw him going gray.
Well, you got millions of dollars, right? What's he make a year?
But he fits Oklahoma State.
Oh, for sure. Look at that.
I mean, that checks out.
Boy, that's a nice mane, though.
He's got great hair.
Look how thick it is. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, his starting running back is Ollie Gordon. He's one of the better running backs in college football. And a week ago, he got pulled over for a DUI.
Okay.
Which led everyone to believe, like, okay, you got to suspend him or, fine him or whatever. You're gonna have to
discipline.
Yeah, discipline him for something. And
Maybe the old he doesn't get to start against. You know how college football always does these things.
Yeah.
Was
you
it?
gotta sit the first half. Oh,
was it Duke?
It was Manziel.
Yeah. First half. No, it was the first drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like
he
that.
went out there and threw 75 passes.
So rather than do all that, Gundy's like, well, who among us? So here's the clip from Mike Gundy, Big 12 Media Days. I want to play you the clip.
So this went viral?
Yeah. And then I'm going to play you the full answer, and let's see if this was taken out of context.
So I looked it up on my phone. What would be the legal limit? Like in Oklahoma is 0.08, and Ollie was 0.1. So I looked it up, and it was based on body weight. Not to get into the legal side of it, but I thought
Time out.
really two or three.
No, he wasn't 0.1. He was 1.0. Right?
You'd be dead.
What do you say, 0.08?
0.08 is the legal limit. But 0.1
0.1 is just a little above
that's like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
1.0 is way above it.
Okay. So
yeah, you'd be dead.
0.1.
My bad. That's what I'm saying though. Is
0.1 is slightly above, but that's just in the world of 1 through 10. That's slightly above.
Right.
But in the world of alcohol consumption, it's a lot above, right?
I feel like he's about to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to guess of how many beers he had.
Not to get into the legal side of it, but I thought really 2 or 3 beers or 4. I'm not justifying what Ollie did. I'm telling you what decision I made. Well, I thought I've probably done that 1,000 times in my life. And I, it's just fine. So I got lucky. People get lucky. Ollie made a decision that he wished he could have done better. But when I talked to Ollie, I told him, I said, you're lucky you got out light.
So that's going around because Gundy's like, who hasn't had 4 beers and drove? I've done that 1,000 times.
And is he right? Are we talking about 2 or 3 beers?
Yeah, I mean, look, it is very weird to me that bars are primarily just a business where you can go drink and
drive to them,
drive home, and drive there and drive home. Yeah, I mean, I think if you have 2 or 3 glasses of wine or 2 or 3 beers, you're going to be over 0.08.
Okay, it does. I
thought he said 0.01 at first, so that's why I was confused.
0.08 requires an average adult male to consume about 4 beers over 2 hours.
And, I mean, let's say that you have 2 in 90 minutes. You might be there.
Okay.
Because it is based on body weight. Or
body weight
tolerance,
and duration.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And somebody's 0.08 is way different than somebody else's 0.08.
And also just not the sort of thing that you hear a college football coach just come out and be like,
that's the point.
I mean,
that's
I
the
don't
point.
know.
This is at media days.
I've done that 1,000 times.
So are you going to sit Ollie Gordon for a drive? Hell no. I mean, I did it yesterday. No.
And it's funny, too, how he's like, I looked it up.
Yeah, on my phone.
I Googled it.
Why did that matter where we were when...
Because there's context here in the full answer of why he looked it up. So yeah, all right. So there was the 43-second clip that everyone heard. Here's the full. It's about 3 minutes. We can stop and start, but here's his full answer on Ollie Gordon.
2 questions. What's his status, and why did you want to bring him today?
So the college football is changing, we all know, and we can say these guys aren't employees, but they're really employees. These guys get paid a lot of money, which is fine, but there needs to be a side to what they do that they have to be able to, for lack of a better term, face the music and own up to things. And when I looked at it,
this is, pause it. Sorry.
Okay,
This is not really relevant to it, but it's just funny how the tone has changed now. Hey, they're employees.
Yeah.
We know they're employees. Like, now that they're making money, we're employees, and we can stop the I'm trying to grow him as a man. We can just be like, look, he's my employee.
Is gone. Yeah,
it's funny how they were kicking and screaming the whole way, and now that it is, it's just like, oh, okay, now we can just do it, and
that's important.
That's what they have been the whole time anyway, but okay.
Yeah, that's important to keep note of because he's going to bring that up a lot. Is he's basically an employee of Oklahoma State.
Be real honest with myself first, and then make the best decision for what I think is good for Ollie, our university, and our team. And then I start thinking about being a parent. I have a 28, I have a 23, and a 19. And first I thought, okay, so I looked it up on my phone. What would be the legal limit? Like in Oklahoma is 0.08.
So he told you his kids' ages because he does this with them a lot. He doesn't say it in this answer, but on a walk-off, he explains like, boy, my boys drink and drive all the time.
Jeez, yeah. I mean, maybe we want to teach them to not. I mean, isn't that the whole point of these laws?
You're making all this money, maybe you just
that
get an
even
Uber.
4 beers can, impair you enough that you're not you can drive. You can get away with it.
1,000 times, he said.
But I mean, I think even in this answer, he's going to say he got lucky or something.
Yeah.
Like, you end up getting lucky on those times.
Yeah.
Like, the whole point is that is a 2,000-pound
Death machine?
piece of steel that is yes, that you are now in charge of, and especially if you're Mike Gundy or Mike Gundy's kids, you have the means. Mm-hmm. You're making $8 million a year, $6 million a year. I don't know what he makes. I'm sure he's making quite a bit.
He'll get to money.
Enough.
He'll get to money.
But an Uber can happen, and there is the social, and they worried about your wife yelling at you later. But look,
yeah, she's got to drive you to get your car.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a thing. I mean seriously, dude. I was talking to my daughter last week who was going out at night. It wasn't because of drinking, but she's like had trouble sleeping lately, and she didn't know if she wanted to drive to her friend's house in Keller because she was just worried how tired she'd be coming home. And I'm like, look, if you got to call me, I will go get you, and I won't be upset. I won't tell Mom. That whole thing. She's like, well, Mom will know because my car will be there tomorrow. I'm like, all right, well, look, I'll deal with her.
We can wake up early.
To not, yeah, like, yeah. Well, I would get up early.
And first I thought, okay, so I looked it up on my phone. What would be the legal limit? Like in Oklahoma is 0.08, in Ollie was 0.1. So I looked it up, and it was...
Also, I don't know if that flies. Like, well, he was almost there. I mean...
Right, that's what I got to do, the control. So we said 0.08 is possibly 4 beers in 2 hours. I wonder what 0.1 is. Go ahead.
I mean, it's probably just one more.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah.
I would assume. Or a little bit
based
less
on body
time.
weight.
Yeah.
Not to get into the legal side of it, but I thought really 2 or 3 beers or 4. I'm not justifying what Ollie did. I'm telling you what decision I made. Well, I thought I've probably done that 1,000 times in my life. and I, it's just fine. So I got lucky. People get lucky.
Okay, this is where the clip ends. Okay, so here's some meat they left off.
Ollie made a decision that he wished he could have done better. But when I talked to Ollie, I told him, I said, you're lucky you got out Lite because you make a lot of money to play football. So back in the day, being able to cover the cost of what he's going to go through would be difficult for a college player. It's not for him.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not speaking for him, but I'm just saying that's not an issue for him. So nobody got hurt.
I found that part a little odd that you're lucky not because you didn't kill anybody, but you're lucky you make so damn much money that you could cover the cost of this DUI.
That's why he's lucky.
Yeah. Back in the day.
Who got hurt?
Nobody.
That's the thing. That's really the lesson here at the end. Is these meddling cops got in the way.
Yeah.
When no one even got hurt.
But it's much of the same for the next couple minutes. But it's basically like Gundy's point is he wasn't that far over the limit, and thank God he makes this NIL money to cover the cost of it. Because if he would have been around 15 years ago, how would he have paid for it?
That would have come out of the university's pocket.
So oftentimes we play the clip and the full answer kind of gives some added content. No, it just got worse.
Not this time.
Here's the other clip that I wanted to play because people wanted punishment. How are you going to punish him? And his answer was, I'm just going to give him the ball more.
Your punishment's going to be facing the facts. That's why we brought him here today. I said, you're not going into hiding. You're going to face the music. You're going to have to stand up and talk to people and answer questions. And hopefully, more than football, you can learn from the situation you've been in. Because if not, then we have a real issue. But he's going to play. And I'm going to do what we think is best for Oklahoma State football. And I think it's best for Ollie to play. If there's any punishment, it's make him carry the ball 50 times in the first game.
What?
You're not sitting the first half. You're playing every damn snap.
So your punishment...
We're going to feed you the rock and make your draft stock.
Yeah, you're going to have 220 yards.
You're going to be the Heisman favorite after week 1 because you're going to score 6 touchdowns against
But you're going to have to...
Southeast Oklahoma.
Here's what you have to do, though.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, are you sitting down? Because don't smile. I'm serious here. This is your punishment. First thing we're doing is we're taking you to Vegas. Okay? And then you're going to have to talk when reporters are going to ask you about this, and you're going to have to answer.
Oh, no.
And tell them that you did it and that you're in Vegas. We'll give you sweet. You're going to have a sweet. Mm-hmm. You're going to have, we'll probably slide you some chips, whatever.
And look, you don't have to drive, so have all you want.
Yeah.
That's
Just walk
you'll
up
be
to your
able to drink
hotel
as
room.
much as you want.
Yeah.
4, 5,
But I want you to
whatever.
think about this. Are you thinking?
Yeah.
And yes, and then we might in fact help your draft stock early in the season because we're going to be playing like UNT or just somebody that's not in the league that we're in, and we'll destroy them by 60, and you're going to have to carry it all the time. You have to play the whole game. That's our punishment, not sitting you out of game.
Not suspending you.
You're playing more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And getting more touches.
Dude, that's great.
So there's your update on Big 12 Media Days.
That's awesome. Before a break, let's do this. I want to get some email out there for you.
Oh, yeah, wait a minute, Uncle Hotmail. Hey, Uncle Hotmail. Uncle Hotmail, look at me.
You guys remember Prophets and Outlaws?
I do.
That's so fun.
You think they still like us?
Gross.
Probably not now that we had Grady Spencer on the show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Feuds.
Huge rival. So our first viewer mail. Oh, you know what? I actually got other mail that has come in since I assembled this morning. So let's take a look at that. But this is from Will, who says, shout out to Kyle Cox. He is the DF who you read from on Monday in viewer mail. He had a successful brain tumor removal operation.
Heck yeah.
I'm guessing removal.
Implementation would be a weird...
Be ballsy, though, if he had any guts.
Could you guys put a tumor in my head?
Yeah, what do they do with it?
That's actually a really good question.
Do they put it in a jar?
I remember Tom Green got his testicle given to him.
What, he had a cancer
Yeah.
scare or something, and they had to remove one?
Yeah, they did a full episode.
No way. The guy that humped everything got testicular cancer.
Fair enough.
And then he kept it?
I don't know if he kept it. I assume he did, but he definitely got it from the doctor.
He's Tom Green. Of course he kept it.
I would assume so.
Yeah, it's probably hanging around his neck. He said he had a successful operation, is recovering in the hospital. Doctors are really happy. He should have a smooth recovery. He was pumped to have y'all read his note. So really, maybe
we pulled him through.
Yeah.
We are the ones who got him through this haul.
Yeah.
Then Will says, thanks for the support and the good vibes. Seems like Jake's prayers were answered. So maybe it was Jake.
Yeah, could be.
Look at that.
Because Jake knelt down next to
Whoa,
the bed.
Good God.
Fight like dogs and cats and dogs.
We just had a dog run into the door.
I'm sorry. That freaked me out a little bit.
And then, yeah, Kyle then did email since I
So
left.
his brain works.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
This is from Kyle's email.
Okay.
He says, survived.
Okay.
Thank you for reading the email on the epi. I got visited post-op by the head of the nursing department, who is also a DF.
How about that?
Why do these people listen to us?
Doesn't make any sense.
He has a real job. He's smart. He's a genius, and he listens to us.
And then again, he singles out Jake. Thank you for the prayers. So Jake is really getting all the credit.
Hero.
For Kyle Cox, like not the neurosurgeon.
Yeah.
But Jake for lying on a podcast about the fact that he prayed for you.
I 100% prayed for him. So,
dear Uncle Hotmail.
yes.
Shout out to my husband, Kevin Harnish, on his Dirk birthday. He's a week 1 top 100. I don't know if this works the same as...
I feel like there was 100 in the first
Yeah,
day.
numbers
So
don't
that doesn't...
He might have to be our one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if this works the same as last year when I emailed and you were, quote, on vacation. But his leaders are Dan's daughters, Goo Goo Gaga, I am sending this from Europe on a work trip. I can't afford a $6.90 sit-in, so Blake, would you have William Pace sing Happy Birthday to make his day? This is from Erica Harnish. So William Pace singing Happy Birthday. Do we have that?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to the Dom Zone. Happy birthday to you.
There you go.
Will you send him the video, please?
No.
Why?
That's an inside joke. William Pace emailed and texted me probably 20 times.
And wants a video.
About...
he put it on his YouTube channel.
Yeah, so the day, though, that we did it, he emailed and texted me. And then I told Blake, and Blake sent it to him right away. And then the next day, he's texting me and Rob and Blake, and he's like, hey, can you just send me the... And we're like, okay, but I'll send it again. And then by the weekend, he's like, is this like a prank? Like, I feel like you guys... I'm praying to the Lord above that we could have this by tomorrow because I want to put it on my page, but I think now that you are... I'm like, he thought we were being mean to him on purpose.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Jake, he said, I'm afraid I've been duped.
That sucks. We would never dupe anybody.
No.
Or dup.
Yeah.
Unless somebody flew me. Like, that would really
so
dupe
funny.
you guys.
You
Man,
got
you guys
us.
would be like, oh, he got me.
Oh, man.
Tio Carne Cortina. Don't know what that means. It's my wife Erica's Kevin Durant birthday.
Uncle Meat something.
Uncle Meat? Yeah, or Aunt Meat.
And like Kevin Durant in 2011, she's going to get rocked by this tall German tonight. Her leaders are
Good
Blake's
grief.
Book Club and his suicide line of humor for the VFW vets. So edgy.
Sorry about that.
More Dan, Trevor, day 2, number 1313.
It's a good number.
Okay. Ben Bridgman. Do you remember him?
Ultra marathon guy.
Oh, wow.
We were in his house.
Yep. He had the cool map.
He says, Uncle Hotmail, today mine and my daughter's, my wife's daughter, Harper, turns 1.
Probably not going to
That's
say
a weird way to
hot
say
name then.
that. My
Would
and
you
my
just say
wife's
my
daughter.
stepdaughter?
Anyway.
I would think.
Her leaders are the Roast Twins. She's a regular listener on our daily commute to work and back. # all listeners matter. So are we to learn that Ben Bridgman drives to work with his wife every day?
Ooh. No, I think it's...
He says our daily commute.
Yeah, they do work together.
Oh.
If I remember right.
That sounds
Like,
terrible.
We asked him about it.
I
and
thought
they
he
were
was
like-
saying he drives with Harper. But I perhaps misunderstood that email.
He says, thanks.
That's a really cool name, though.
From Ben Bridgman, a.k.a. Ultra Runner Douche Guy on Reddit after hosting you boys at our home.
Yeah.
And we have Kyler.
Murray?
Wait, what day is today? Oop, this is for next week. This came in.
Next week?
I've got
Or,
one.
Not even tomorrow.
Saturday.
I have one from Wit. Blake, I'm sending this to you because Dan and Jake don't understand. Long story short, my wife and daughters leave for a vacation to visit her dad July 17th. I return home July 18th from a work trip. I will have the house to myself from July 19th to July 21st.
God.
Why those dates are important is because NCAA 25 comes out on July 19th.
Wow, 72 straight hours, Dan.
So, I'm not getting the early release because of the work trip, but how would the Dumb Zone maximize 72 hours of spouse and child-free college football gaming? I have already taken PTO July 19th in order to be unburdened by the shackles of the man. I gave Whit to her.
If your wife finds out that you took time off when
she was gone,
I believe that would really.
Buddy, he's not going to be the only one.
Yeah, Blake's right.
So I sent Whit.
The economy may crash.
It'll be down for a couple days. I sent Whit about a paragraph that I wanted to share with our audience as well. My advice to Whit. You're going to need to stock up. Fridge full of your drink of choice. Mine was always Mountain Dew and all of its affiliates, Code Red, Game Fuel, and Voltage. Start the night with an energy drink and then move to soda. I now have a mini fridge next to me, but before I did, I went cooler next to me so I didn't have to waste time between games. One move I always utilize was over-order on pizza and pasta because they're good left over. Also make sure you have cereal and fresh milk because that shit slaps the morning after a gaming session. If you need a late night run, Taco Bell is obviously the way to go, but keep in mind Dunkin' Donuts because of their late hours and their caffeinated beverages. Plus, if you time it right, about 3 a.m., the overnight crew has begun making donuts for the next day and you can get them fresh. I always tried to store up sleep the night before because you don't want to crash early or sleep away a lot of the next day. No matter how late you stay up, you have to be back on the sticks by noon. Lastly, I sometimes tried to plan a physical activity for the next afternoon. Pick up basketball, ultimate frisbee, backyard football, pool basketball, whatever. That way you get a little exercise and you come back refreshed for night 2 mentally and physically because you'll feel like shit.
I mean,
that's my advice for the 30-somethings hitting NCAA.
I can't hate on it, to be honest.
That's what I've learned from my experience. That's how you maximize your gaming sessions.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to do it.
Maybe on the RV.
Tristan writes, again, these were just trickled in here to Waxahachie. It takes a while for the email to get to
Carrier
Waxahachie.
pigeon, yeah.
The subject line, it's July 11th. I'll just ignore that one then.
It's a whole month off.
July 11th?
Oh, excuse me.
Isn't that today?
Yeah. Well, then why are you not doing it?
Oh, wait,
then?
today is the 11th.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the 9th. Never mind.
Today's Slurpee Day.
Damn it.
7-Eleven.
All right, I can go back to Tristan. She writes, hey, I know you guys do birthday shout-outs. I would a lot of O's, appreciate if you would give my husband a birthday shout-out today. And she has the little parentheses, colon, which is, I think, a smiley face.
A smiley face, yeah.
He absolutely loves y'all and has followed you guys from the beginning and is a diehard fan. His leaders are Jake's Big Phone, Dan's Bathroom Soaps, and Blake's Hooker Makeup. More Danny Bayless.
Did you see what they were rocking here?
What do they got? What do you guys got?
Clear skies.
They had foaming soap and the other.
Whatever you want.
Wow. I don't know what you call the other soap.
That's hospitality.
Wow. That is hospitality.
She says, thank you guys. Tell him his wife loves him so much. Thank you. And no matter how many times I look at this email, I can't find this husband's name. So her name appears to be Tristan Dotson. Now, is that her married name? Or, some ladies will still have their maiden name on their email. So if you're married to somebody whose first name is Tristan and last name either was or is Dotson, and it's your birthday,
happy birthday,
and you're 27, she claims to love you so much that she sent in her leaders and then didn't include your name.
It's a tough break.
But she thought about us. And then I have, it is my Shekinah Strickland for the Atlanta Dream birthday.
Jake?
No, I'm not doing that.
And my dad Gene's Larry Cole birthday.
Nope.
40 and 63. I'm sure my stepmom woke him up in that special way.
Ew.
I'm pretty sure I've seen a documentary about that. Hopefully I'll be taking the moose down Chisholm Trail later, if you know what I'm saying. Leaders are Jake's Fastball, Dan's Shower Habits, and the Last 10% from Ryan Payne.
Yikes.
What documentaries are you watching?
I got a couple more real quickies. They are not birthdays. It is this one entitled Jake's Drive from Houston. As I sit here in Houston with the roof torn off my house, water in the walls, and with no power for 36 hours and counting, I just want to say I feel so bad for Jake's little driving experience. Listening to the pod up on the roof from Garrett.
Oh, man. Yeah, you had a tough little 8-hour drive.
Mike Renfro says, I saw another random 9/11 memorial. This was on a golf trip to Hot Springs Village in Arkansas.
I hope you're all doing well.
Where Uncle Gary moved.
Did he move from Arlington to Hot Springs?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You do know that because I own a piece of property there.
Oh, yeah. You have
my mom bought a lot across from him.
Like a quarter-acre lot, right?
Yeah. My mom bought a lot across from him. It's a quarter acre in this. There are thousands of acres in this, and she bought, and they were selling them.
Don't you have to pay like $10 in taxes every year?
I pay $10 in taxes, but then the neighborhood association fees are like
more.
Probably about $400 for the year.
Whoa!
So yeah, I've owned it for 10 years now. So I paid $4,000 for something I'm never going to. 400 times 10, 4,000.
You got it.
Yes. Anyway, there's a 9/11 memorial. It's a bench.
Okay.
It's like a park bench that you sit on outside one of the holes, but it has like some Twin Towers steel on it, and it says it's very spare, especially when you notice the company advertises their website in the bottom right-hand corner of the bench. That's Mike Renfro.
That's pretty cheap.
And Nick in Washington rounds out email for today. He says, "Hey, Dan, listening to yesterday's Sode, you asked Jake to rule on a potential Roseanne. May I suggest that you call this the Roseanne bar? As in, does this person pass the bar to be Roseanne?"
That's good.
That's pretty good.
Thanks for continuing to play the William Pace Open that I voiced for you guys. Keep doing what you're doing, Playboy. Nick in Washington. I do think it's good.
Yeah, that's solid.
Yeah, we can come up
Is
with
it over the Roseanne bar?
When I'm at Cowboys Stadium or sitting at home and I hear Papa John's Pizza for Jerry Jones, yo, it lights me up like a Roman candle with toppings and flavor almost too good to handle. Cowboys, 5 stars, what I get. It's like a Papa John's Pepsi, double threat. Get a Papa John's large with up to 5 toppings and a 2-liter Pepsi. People are swapping, cause there's no better value. Yo, catch my ride. Cowboys 5-star combo for $10.99.
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
I think France girl went and told.
Wait, pause. Like, it was the funniest thing I've ever read. You go, oh, that's embarrassing. That's not. That's not. That is embarrassing. No, it's so embarrassing.
No puppet.
Are you like me and when you hear their voices, you just get stressed out?
Yes. Yeah.
It's so bad now. It's summer. And when you guys do a show at my house now, which we do occasionally, high atop my garage, Blake, I don't know if you even know this bit, but Blake will bring his food, but he doesn't eat right away.
Yeah.
And he'll warm it up after the show.
Yeah.
Well, now he has to venture into the kitchen.
I know.
And then, he looks over there, and there she is.
Headphones on.
I know, which then do I acknowledge her presence, say hello, or do I just ignore her because she wants to be ignored? I don't know what to do.
I made a massive error the other day. I said, "Hey, thanks for keeping the cat alive."
Oh, I heard that.
She looked at me with a level of disdain that...
Well, she told me later, she goes, "Jake never talks to me." She was thrown off by Jake actually talking to her. She says Kristen does the communication.
Yeah, and like I told you, I mean, she sent her like a 5-paragraph text. and Eden replied with a thumb up.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean,
she will worry.
I'm in
she
fits.
doesn't flippantly do that. She will walk over to me and go, "What should I say? What should I do? How should I reply?" Like she wants to, It's.
I was just trying to be friendly, you know.
Okay, but
she fed the cat for 4 days, and I said, "Hey, thanks."
Yeah.
Okay,
for
but
what
she
you did."
can't lob the grenade that it's weird Jake has teenage girls in his phone and then get mad at him that he's not the one communicating with him.
Thank you.
Look, if you want logic, you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
From her point of view. Actually got the girls together yesterday, and we do have now in the can another review.
Oh, fantastic.
They have reviewed someone's song.
Oh,
Fantastic.
no.
Yeah.
So
somebody else heard that and thought, yeah, I want that for my song too.
Yeah. No, they might have liked it.
Time will tell. Yeah.
It's just a review. You'll have to find out. So that's kind of a tease. I'd also like to tease. I want to do a little more sports stuff, and then we'll get to do the news. But tomorrow, I'll save my Hard Knocks audio for tomorrow. I watched Hard Knocks.
I watched the first one after you guys kind of put me on it the other day.
Yeah, I didn't watch the first one because we already talked about it and stuff. I figured, let me just get episode 2.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It seems to me to be a documentary or a puff piece. Like Jordan is the one who commissioned, right, the Last Dance, and it made Jordan look. Jordan's always going to look good, but it made Jordan look real good and all that.
Yeah.
It seems like the guy who was behind this is the GM of the Giants.
Right.
Like even the opening part where they're like dun 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 dun, like it's a big inspirational thing in the beginning. It's this nerd on the phone. He's like, "Oh, shall we move up to, I've got 6, and I just want you thinking about us if you're at number 3." Like it's just, it all seems to be about trying to create a superhero out of
Joe
Shane.
Well, I mean,
SCHOEN.
I saw the clip with Brian Daboll and Drake May.
Yeah.
And that definitely looked like it was created to make Brian Daboll look like he was not a complete fuck up.
I've got more of that tomorrow.
Okay.
I have some audio for you, but the one thing I wanted to say was, so then, after watching it and getting the audio ready, it's a few minutes clip, and I think we're going to spend too much time on it. For today. But I thought, okay, whose cousin is Joe Shane?
Oh, no.
And it kind of looks like no one.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, that was covered in the first episode.
He played college football at DePaul, the DePaul with the W.
Not DePaul.
Right. DePaul. So you've kind of heard of that, right?
Yeah. Typically around like March Madness.
He was a big fan of Joe Kemp. Well, I don't know who imitated who. He started as a quarterback as a freshman and then moved to wide receiver for his final 3 years.
Okay. Joe played 2 years, but fantastic.
Graduated, began his career as a scouting assistant for the Carolina Panthers the year he graduated. Hired as an area scout in 2002. Joined the Dolphins as a scout in 2008. Got promoted to assistant director of college scouting. Promoted to director of player personnel by 2014. So 6 years there with the Dolphins. Then he gets hired by the Bills as their assistant GM. And then once you're with a team that's doing well and winning and stuff, they're like, "Oh, who's the assistant?"
Pick him over.
Yeah. And so he ends up getting the Giants job. And then, he ended up taking Daboll from Buffalo.
I mean, respect.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he knew a guy. It doesn't seem, it doesn't seem like his mom was dating Eli Manning or anything.
The Mike McDaniel one is that's kind of a tough one. He did grind.
Sure, and a lot of guys are great at what they do, but
That's not the same as like being the son of the dad or the son of the guy who founded FedEx.
he still gets the door opened.
Yeah.
Again, all these guys, they got the door opened. Joe Buck is great. He got the door open pretty wide.
Yeah.
There's other people who could be as great.
Yeah.
But they did not have anywhere near the access to the door. This is coming soon, so I want to get us going.
Oh, jeez.
It's going to be Olympic time soon.
Oh,
When is the Olympics? Next week?
I think so, yeah.
Black Olympics.
My team didn't make it, so I'm not really that into it.
Oh, by the way.
Black Olympics.
This is the Marty B theme. All right. So
we know.
So the USA basketball won their first game last night somehow, overcoming the 2 points from Dwight Powell to defeat Team Canada. Dwight Powell is Team Canada's starting center.
Why?
SGA is.
Why are you laughing at?
Did you know
Dwight
SGA
Powell?
is Canadian?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
And Dylan Brooks.
Should I have known that?
Well,
okay.
no.
Anyway.
But the account, did Dwight Powell get hit in the face tonight? Got a rare summer appearance.
Yeah, he did, right?
Yes.
He did. Yeah.
If you're interested in USA basketball and seeing LeBron become a champion again, that's really what we're all here for.
Disgusting.
The mayor of Paris. Do you remember I was telling you about this? This was actually a big topic at the barber shop of the weekend.
Oh, yeah. Gonna swim?
The mayor of Paris told French radio yesterday that she would swim in the city's River Seine next week. And I was talking to my daughter about this, and I said, because she was in France. That's Eden went to France.
What's the mayor of Paris look like?
To study. Jake
wow.
is interested.
I'm interested.
Yeah. It's the mayor of Paris, right? I mean, you can't be rude if you're. It's Paris.
Yeah. City of Love.
God.
Anyway, my daughter had been in Paris all spring, and she's like, "They're gonna swim in that?" She says it's disgusting. There was no sign to her of them doing a $1.5 billion cleanup, which they claim that they have done. And the mayor said, remember, like, she had vowed to swim in the river because I guess they're doing some events, not the, the 100-meter butterfly or whatever. It's like the decathlon. You're going to be swimming in the river.
Yeah. What you just said, you don't know what that means.
No.
I just want to be very clear.
Triathlon.
Okay.
Not the decathlon. The decathlon you don't swim.
Not.
Do you?
I think you do.
I don't know, man.
In the decathlon? The triathlon you swim.
What do you think?
Look up decathlon. It's where you don't have any Kathleen. No?
No one says decathlon.
10
Decathlon.
track and field events.
There's no swimming, I think.
2 consecutive days.
But I'm guessing. Triathlon.
Okay.
There will be swimming. The mayor said, because
swimming.
people are really questioning. Like, really? They're going to have it? Like, this river is gross, man. There's no way that people can swim in this. So she had said she would swim in the Seine. So did the leader of the country, Macron. Like a month ago, she postponed it to like last week, and now she postponed it again to next week. Macron was smart. He did not ever set a date. She keeps setting a date, so people keep going, hey, look what day it is. And then she's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do it next week.
I'm busy.
So last week she said the Seine is not the priority right now because of the Snap election campaign, which you might have to explain to me at some point. Like, how do you was it a quick election they didn't expect to have?
Yeah, so I don't know that much about it. I feel like we talked about this the other day. Maybe it was off the air, but they can just like have an election.
Like, hey, we need an election now.
This guy sucks.
Let's get an election.
Yeah. It's not the same as it is here.
Can't they do that? I think some governors have had that happen, like in California.
Well, like you have like a recall.
Okay.
Like that's how Willis or somebody, right?
I don't know what you're saying right there.
Was it Webster or somebody ran for governor who was a black midget? I'm sorry.
Oh, you're thinking of Gary Coleman?
but do you not recall that?
No.
Ran for governor.
No.
Yeah, and I believe that's actually around the time that Arnold won.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, they do say that tests last week for the first time showed acceptable bacteria levels. Would you go in something if somebody said to you,
acceptable?
It's acceptable. I feel like I want way higher bar than acceptable bacteria levels.
Yeah.
So, yes.
That doesn't seem great.
We apparently are going to get the mare that Blake is highly interested in a bathing suit in the Seine next week.
All right.
But it'll probably be like some super lame French bathing suit.
Yeah.
I thought they invented the bikini, man.
Yeah, but like...
And then they do topless stuff, right? That's what I always hear.
But, she's going to have something way too tasteful on. Wouldn't you expect?
The opening ceremony of the Paris Olympics will take place on the Seine on July 26th if the currents are not too strong.
Okay.
A recent rehearsal on June 24th was canceled because of strong water flows caused by heavy rainfall. And that's today's look at the Olympics.
Here's Jake with the Dumb Zone News.
A popular social media personality with over 155,000...
I don't know if...
It's not Dan McDowell.
Oh.
Over 150,000 followers was arrested last week in Flower Mound. Police say he shot his girlfriend in the face following an argument. Brings up the question. What happens if I commit a crime? Or you, or even you.
Yeah, we've done this.
We did it yesterday.
Tuesday?
Tuesday.
This is the exact same question you brought up.
Okay, yeah, sorry. My bad.
But he shot his girlfriend?
Yeah,
I don't remember hearing that detail.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in looking him up...
So that was like the new detail of it today. Was not that he was just arrested. He shot his girlfriend in the face.
Ouch. Because a lot of his content was girlfriend related.
I would say ouch, sure.
Yeah. No,
That's just smarts.
They just did a lot of like couple stuff.
How's Smarts doing?
I don't think well.
You don't think so?
Can't say I've heard it ever, really.
Well, that's Smarts.
Sorry, Blake, what were you saying? You're making this great point.
Thank you. No, I just, in looking this guy up and looking at his content and stuff, it was a lot of like couples-based stuff.
Yeah.
So it just seemed like maybe he just got tired of her.
And yeah, that's the thing is...
Yeah, is that...
You just don't want to become a wife guy.
A wife guy?
Yeah.
Where you're showing people you love your wife?
Yeah.
Because when you kill her?
Or whatever.
See, that must be such a weird tightrope to walk for the young guy that's dating now. Like, there's probably a lot of pressure for the avatar or, just to post pictures of you guys together.
Yeah.
Well,
and if you're not, especially if you're a guy who's got some level of following, like, oh, you got over 100,000 followers, like I might want a little of that clout, so I'm going to give you this little home base access. And now when am I getting up on there?
Up on there?
Up on your site, on whatever.
I thought you meant on...
You were probably a little older, but you probably went through that little phase of Facebook, right? Where you got in a relationship with, you change your profile picture and all that.
Yeah.
I definitely was in that phase.
Yeah, I definitely did have some level of that, but then I met Dan, and he made fun of me.
And you deleted Facebook.
And I just deleted Facebook.
Because didn't you put a picture of you and Kristen on there? And we pointed it out some Monday, oh look.
Whatever it is that
Who says I'm in a relationship?
Whatever it is that you remember it to be, it's not that.
Oh, come on, that's fun.
But I do think that I put in a relationship.
That's it?
Yeah.
Dang.
I thought it was her picture.
No, I mean, I think I put in a relationship, and then by 2 months later, it was you take off your mother-in-law's birthday.
Yeah. You took off. Yeah, you guys celebrate the day that you told social media that
That's
you were
right.
in a relationship.
That's right. Yeah.
And then, if you break up.
What do you do?
And some breakups are you kind of know you're going to get back together. But what if you totally, then do you take her pictures off of your...
Yeah, you scrub.
Do you have, because you're a Graham guy, do you have pictures of any previous girlfriends on the Instagram?
No, I was a scrub guy.
We've talked about this. Yeah, he's scrubbed.
You leave me or whatever, we break up, I'm not good enough. No, I don't want a record of you at all.
Okay, so you don't... See, that's why social media or looking back through it to determine someone's life is probably skewed. It's the life that you want us to think
you want
that
to
you
remember.
have.
Yeah, but the other thing is if you're an obsessive type, that's all you'll do is just stare at it.
What do you mean?
Oh, look at these good memories I used to have back when I had her.
Or if you have an obsessive type as your new lady, she's certainly going to be wondering why these are still on there.
That too. There's just a lot of. It's just best to just get rid of it, in my opinion.
Or like Jake,
or
just not have
delete it.
Yeah, not
or
have
like
it at
Dan
all.
and never put it up in the first place. That's probably the way to go.
Yeah, but I mean, he skated era-wise.
Although no,
That's
because
what
now
that is.
my era is on Facebook.
That's true too.
My wife knows I'm on Facebook, but I never, I truly check every few months or something. But she once sent a friend request, and I just didn't. I pretended I didn't see it.
Didn't even accept your wife.
She's never said anything about it because I'm friends with some people that she's friends with.
Yeah.
I'll get a friend request from
like
Steve or something, Jennifer's husband, and I'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I like Steve.
And then Jennifer is like, oh, I see Steve has friended Dan. I'll friend Dan.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
I'll go, oh, okay, Jennifer, yeah, I'm friends with her. And then my wife will see, hey, wait, my friends Steve and Jennifer are both friends with my husband. I should just add him and see what he's doing on there.
No. I get enough of you already.
I can't bring sand to the beach.
No.
Of Facebook. Not that, and I don't do anything on there. I just thought it'd be weird.
Did you guys know that Shelley Duvall was from Fort Worth?
I may have heard that at one point.
Well, she's dead now.
Olive oil.
Who?
Shelley Duvall.
The Shining.
The Shining wife. Have you seen The Shining?
No.
Ooh. I don't know if it's good or not, but it's interesting. I mean, I'm not like a horror movie guy, you know?
Is that the one where Jack Nicholson's a little crazy?
Yeah, it's one of those.
He's a little crazy. Yeah, I guess that does not narrow down the Jack Nicholson movie.
No, it does not.
But
no, it does not.
I'm more of a fan of the movie than I am the book.
That's rare.
I have since learned that Stephen King hates the movie.
Oh, really?
Because he doesn't like how, they'll reinterpret it a different way.
Yeah.
The book is very... I think I might have told you this before. The book pretty much has literal ghosts that do stuff. Whereas to me, the way the movie is and the way I think of it is you're going up to this remote area where you're locked in and you're stuck for 6 months, right? And you have no access to the outside world at all, and you are driven crazy by this.
Yeah, so it's all psychological.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson had his character had a former actually had some mental issues or whatever.
Right.
Heading into it. And then he takes this job where he's watching over this old hotel for the winter. And you can only access it by one winding mountainous road. And once the winter hits, though, you cannot get up there or get back down unless like a snowmobile or whatever, helicopter perhaps. The thing is, though, that's to me that's cool. Like you get driven mad
by the isolation.
In the book, it's that the hotel is actually haunted, and like he's going crazy, and he chases his wife with an axe and everything, and she ends up locking him in the cooler, the refrigerator or whatever. In the book, a ghost unlocks it, and then he gets out, and you can chase him again. And I thought, that sucks.
Yeah.
Like, this is supposed to be
like a narrative device that is unnecessary.
Like, it's supposed to be he thinks he's seeing ghosts.
Right.
He's so crazy that he's talking to... But the book lays it out, and so Stephen King is mad that they turned it into a... he just goes crazy. And I'm agreeing with Stanley Kubrick on this one.
You're a purist.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know that that's the way you'd label it. But I like it. I like the word. Makes me sound cool.
Nobody ever forced that upon you? Not like ghost sex, but watching the movie?
No, my dad was more into blood sport.
Yeah. For sure.
He wasn't a movie critic by any means.
Look, you guys know my dad.
Yeah.
It's not like he's over here watching Clockwork Orange. A woman who was recorded up her skirt by an Irving voyeur has spoken out with Fox 4 News.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What'd she have to say?
What she had to say was... Say that again?
It was thrilling. What a ride. I'm humbled.
She was in a Dallas
that he would
Walmart.
want to look up my skirt.
Yeah. What did Charlotte say?
So, obviously, that's the first thing we all think of.
She said the halftime show on Thanksgiving will be...
Kane Brown.
Hope you're enjoying the Netflix documentary.
It was...
Boy, I forgot. I got to get back on cheerleaders.
Yeah, I watched 2 more after we had Sarah on, and then kind of a little bit, but it's really good. Here's what's really funny, though, is I wanted you guys to see this photo of this guy. He's just like, yep, I did it.
Yeah, that is a very... You got me. Yeah, he doesn't look remorseful.
He does not. He does
You know
not.
the photo we want, though.
What's that, Dan?
The lady.
I knew.
Let's just see if... Should she say she's humbled and honored?
So he was sentenced to 1 year for secretly recording her on 2 separate occasions.
That's probably... That's probably a lot less than Ethan Couch got for running over.
I think that's true. She was 4 to 5 months pregnant at the time.
Hey now.
This is according to an interview that she did this morning with Fox 4 News.
At first, I was thinking, why do you go back?
Was it dilating?
What, right.
Oh my
what
God.
changed?
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I don't even really know what that means.
I always thought it meant the hole's just getting bigger. Does it? Right? Because they keep giving you centimeters and stuff, and now it's bigger. And you're like, oh, okay.
6?
I guess the baby will fit now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a sinkhole.
A sinkhole?
Yeah. Then they stitch it back up.
Do you guys... did you know anybody in high school or whatever that was like, I'm going to try to take an upskirt photo? And you're like, that's patently disgusting.
No. I knew the kid
I've never known anyone
who would glance.
It was
going
always
upstairs.
somebody would have a shoe mirror.
I mean, you've always heard about it. I've never thought that's
disgusting.
I've never been attracted by that area of the body, to tell you the truth. I like the up tops.
I mean, it's.
I don't want to look down there. There's just.
Go ahead.
I might have grown up in more of a jungle era than you as well. It might be more pleasant to look at these days.
No, it's not. It's really not.
How does your era not get, especially Blake's era, not get labeled as pedophiles? If you're saying that I could be labeled as a pedophile because I'd say I'd rather have mouth braces than leg braces, when we're going full waxing down there, it's like, hey, let's try to make it look as much not like an older person as we can.
I don't really think full wax is like that's not really what's happening anymore.
Just full, it's not all linoleum down there? There's a small...
Linoleum?
Just a little carpet?
Yeah, I think Jake would have more info on this.
Why?
You seem to know more about what women have going on in the trends down there.
I mean, the porn community would...
I just think, like,
would indicate.
Pubes are still, like, a thing. Now... Is it like it was 35 years ago? No.
No, and you could thank us for that because we started that.
Yeah.
Like, we were the first generation that said, hey, got this beard trimmer. It doesn't have to be just on your face. What if we did a little sculpting down there?
Yeah.
So you're welcome, dudes.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
Wasn't it more of like an odor thing?
Oh, my God.
Well, I don't think shaving takes that away, does it?
I think it helps.
I mean, fish don't have hair.
All right, there's your news. I'll save
put
the rest
that
of
on put that on a hat.
Dumb Zone News. Like and subscribe.
You like that one.
The Dumb Zone presents.
Will Raymond have that on a t-shirt?
Fish don't have hair.
Hey, we got a sponsor for Today in History today?
We do.
What do we got?
Frankel and Frankel.
Oh, my gosh.
The best.
Chosen by the people, feared by the insurance companies. They are personal injury attorneys.
I'm not asking you to get in a car accident, okay? I hope you don't. But if you do, the first thing you need to do, call the authorities and then call 214-817-333-3333.
You know why?
Why?
Because you're inevitably going to be in an insurance situation. And the insurance companies are not trying to help you. They're trying to take advantage of you. Frankel and Frankel will fight for your rights. You'll talk to a partner when you call.
Like who?
Could be Mark or Scott. Frankel's or Gene Burkett. Gene, so humble. He's like, I don't need my name on the billboard here.
I like it like that.
On the marquee. But you'll talk to one of those guys when you call. They used to actually defend the insurance companies, so they know their game.
Inside and out.
They know their tricks. They're the Belichick.
That's a really good point, Dan.
Of lawyers, because Belichick used to be just a defensive coordinator, then he became the greatest offensive mind in the game.
Because he'd seen the other side.
And Frankel and Frankel are like that as well. Personal injury lawyers. All threes, 214 or 817, all threes. Thanks for sponsoring us. Good dudes.
Very.
Tall. At
Gene?
least Gene.
Gene's a big man.
Was fairly tall.
He's a very tall man. I feel
and
like
if Jake is saying that, then you know he's tall.
He could probably dunk on me.
Hey, do you want to join us for this? We're at Tom's house here in Waxahachie.
I would say this is an estate.
It does feel like an estate.
What kind of acreage we got here?
10 acres.
10 acres. Have you ever walked it all?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How long does that take? You
Well,
ever mow it all?
I used to, before I had horses, I used to sit on the, very cathartic to sit on that mower for a couple hours and nice hot temperature and smell the grass and love it.
This is a great place, man.
Is that what Kathy says? Cathartic?
No, hers is... She needs a cigarette after. Well, Tom, today is Thursday, July 11th. We all know that. 7-Eleven Day. Get your Slurpee. On this day in 1804, Vice President Aaron Burr was in a duel with Treasury Secretary Alexander Hamilton. So that's how they used to settle stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A pistol duel.
What? I mean...
I guess... Could you be in a different kind of a duel? Maybe swords.
Slap. Right?
A slap.
Muskets.
Musket? I don't know.
So does that mean you take 10 paces this way and you turn and shoot? Like that type of thing?
That's what I've always thought.
Anyway, he shot him. Vice President Burr was the better shot. Shot Hamilton. Hamilton would die the next day. Or would Hamilton die? Tune in tomorrow.
You know what? That's not to spoil tomorrow's end of the show, but that's actually impressive to me that you could stay alive 225 years ago for a day with a gunshot wound.
But it probably was
It could have been like
a superficial
11:55.
wound. It was a wound that today they would get it out of there, you'd live. But they didn't have, right?
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
On this day in 1989, Nolan Ryan became the oldest pitcher to win an All-Star game. He was 42 years old. On the telecast, former President Ronald Reagan did one inning of color commentary. The American League won 5-3. Oh, he was with the Rangers at that time, huh? 89? This was the first All-Star game featuring a designated hitter.
Witchcraft.
Now everybody's got designated hitters now, right?
Yeah. They're letting trans people play.
So, Jake, you know about this. On this day in 1995, the National League defeats the American League in the All-Star game 3-2.
Yep. Just
at
talked
the
about this.
ballpark in Arlington.
Yep.
Do you know the starting pitcher for the National League that day?
Was it not?
No more pitch and no runners come home. Number 60, Hideo no more.
This is the a cappella version. You know, I have like 6 versions.
We got it.
Oh, we did?
One strike, 2 strikes, 3 strikes. Oh!
It was pretty awesome, man.
At the Home Run Derby. You didn't go to the game.
I didn't go to the game, but I went to batting practice and stuff. So I got to see Nomo do like long toss. It was
Did
cool.
you do the same long toss? You had the pause and then
Legitimately, yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
On this day in 2014, LeBron James, who had left Cleveland for Miami in 2010, announced he was returning to the Cavs. Remember that?
I do. All those people had to piece their jerseys back together.
He put it on Sports Illustrated's website. My relationship with Northeast Ohio is bigger than basketball. I didn't realize that 4 years ago. I do now.
I remember exactly where I was. We were upstairs.
In the meeting room? The upstairs meeting room?
Yeah. It was was it Lee, what's his name? Lee Thompson? What's the writer's name?
I don't know, man.
SI writer. I can't
Hunter
remember.
S. Thompson.
No, it wasn't Hunter S. Thompson. But
Lee Greenwood?
It
Lee
wasn't
Majors.
Lee Greenwood. No, and it wasn't Lee Majors. Anyways, whatever.
Bruce Lee.
Lee Stevens?
Say Lee Pak. That was a bad one. I ruined it all.
That was during the era where I moved our meeting upstairs because I didn't like the fact that I can say this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like the fact that our boss's office was next to our meeting room. So I just commandeered a room upstairs so we could speak freely.
Also, there was a lot more room up there. I liked it.
It was a lot more room. Yeah. Much bigger room.
Huge table.
And it was unused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it felt like Kind of like it feels like our studio now is like our place.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
everyone else meets in this other room. We meet in this one.
Yeah. I didn't do much for bad radio, but I did get the meeting room moved.
Well, you got us all digitized. Like, there's a clear date of when.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Like, Bob will text me, hey, I'm looking for this interview we did. And, like, he wants to replay it, like, now. And I'll be like, that was 2010.
Pre-Jake.
Right, pre-Jake. I think Jake was, like, 2013, 11,
12. Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Anyway. On this day in 2018, John Schnatter.
Why does this keep coming up?
The founder of Papa John's resigned as chairman of the board of the pizza chain and apologized for using a racial slur during a conference call in May.
Yeah.
But did the quality of the pizza remain the same?
You know what? I don't think it did. I don't think it did.
It was the fundamentals, right? The fundamental of pizza making. And on this day in 1877, a famous wedding where scientist and inventor Alexander Graham Bell, at the age of 30, married Mabel Hubbard.
Uh-oh.
Mabel ain't coming back.
No.
You sure?
Nora seems to be a cool coming back name. Mabel, though, it just feels like that's
fat.
That's going to stay there. Yeah.
It feels fat.
Anyway, she was
no one
19.
disagreed with me.
No, yeah, Tom liked it.
She was 19.
That's...
But if you're 30...
150 years ago, 19 years, big deal.
30 marrying a 19-year-old just feels weird. But I suppose, yes, in 1877, that was ripe childbearing age.
There's nothing wrong with that at that time.
At that time, you've thrown on the caveat. Like, right now, you would think that's a little wild.
Yeah, I mean, I think, as I've told you before, the girl who was like the hot senior in your class who had like a 25-year-old boyfriend.
Damn, I'll never forget.
Didn't love that. Didn't love that at all. But 1877, come on.
You know, our hot girl that was dating a 25-year-old, I've seen her on Facebook, and...
This is why he's still on.
It didn't go that great.
Didn't hold up?
It didn't go that great for her.
No, people that peak in high
I
school...
dodged that bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking about this the other night. Like, not that, but just like the guy who was the best athlete in your grade in like 8th or 9th grade.
Dude, ours...
And they just don't... it never works out.
Our two best athletes, they ended up... They never really kept growing, and they ended up...
peaked early.
They were fair soccer players.
Yeah.
But they weren't, like... They were dominating everything up until...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's somewhat weird about my brother.
Because he dominated...
From like 4 years old.
From birth?
Yeah. But that's very uncommon.
How is your brother?
I think he's good.
We heard on Tuesday that he bets on Bobby Witt Jr. to hit a home run every day.
He does do that.
Did you see the Bobby Altoff news?
Didn't we just do this? Now you're telling me that I'm forgetting stuff?
No, I think this was... this happened on Tuesday night.
Yeah, there's new news. Like, she got...
Hammered or something?
Carried out of a restaurant
Bar?
or something, yeah.
By Sean Murphy Bunting.
Very confused by all of that.
We'll have to get into that tomorrow. Write that down.
Yeah, is she the... Well, I don't want to judge, but it seems like she's kind of the worst mom ever.
Yeah.
But
I could fix her.
I'll save the rest for tomorrow.
I could fix her.
No, you couldn't.
Former Cowboy Dalton Schultz is 28.
Good friend of mine.
Former
Speaking of my
Cowboy
brother.
Dale Hellestray is 62. Is he the one that's into pot?
No, that is Mark...
Tuna. No.
Stepnoski?
Tuna is dead.
He would have been better off.
Right, with just into pot.
Yeah.
Right.
Other than the speedball.
Former Cowboy Phil Costa is 37.
Was he in the band?
He dated someone famous, right?
It was Hulk Hogan's daughter. And yes, he was in a band called Free Reign, R-E-I-G-N.
Nice.
With Leonard Davis.
Hook'em.
Yes. It was a very rare black guy in a metal band.
And who was the other one?
Damn it, I don't remember, but you're right. Yeah.
Oh, Mark Colombo.
Mark Colombo. There you go.
Was Mark Colombo the guy that everybody said had a real modest
No.
Home in Flower
Louisville?
Mound or something? Louisville, mowed his own lawn?
No.
I'm getting that white lineman mixed
are.
up with another white lineman?
Yeah, it says here for Mark Colombo on the Kimspin list, which you can check for yourself at kimspin.com.
It's fantastic, yeah.
At training camp, Dan asked him what his first band was, and he wouldn't admit it was called Black Muff.
It was called Black Muff, yeah. This is going to drive me crazy, though, now, Dan.
That I mentioned the white lineman who was unassuming.
I don't think it was Mark Colombo. I don't think it was Phil Costa. We should call Bob.
We can.
You know. Joe Pavelski is 40.
Joe Pa. That's what they call him.
That's right. They took down his statue.
Do you think that's a regretful career move from Al Pacino? Like, that movie sucked, right?
What movie?
Am I crazy? Didn't he do a Paterno movie?
I don't remember that, but I'm not movie guy.
Okay. Sorry.
Was it the one where Jack Nicholson was a little bit crazy?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, yeah, but called Paterno.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Screw me. It was a very popular movie at the time.
It says here Pacino regrets filming the scenes with the boys.
Yeah, I could see that.
Eduardo Nájera is 48.
Nájera.
Joey Bosa, 29.
Zeke.
Patrick Peterson is 34.
Pat Pete.
Where's he now?
Out of the league?
Yeah, he had a year or two in Pittsburgh, and I think he's done.
Yeah, I think so.
Boy, that flame burned bright, man.
Oh, dude.
Is that what happens to cornerbacks?
Yeah.
You just you can't lose half a step?
No.
You're either great or you're out of the league?
Yeah.
That's too bad.
I'm really not ready for there to be a white one.
Or did he finish in Minnesota?
He definitely finished in Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a white cornerback now, right?
Cooper DeJean?
Yeah.
Isn't it perfect? He plays for Philly?
It's too perfect.
Nadia Suleman is 49.
Octomom?
Octomom. I didn't know if anybody'd know that name.
Come on, bro.
Sorry. Now, what's Octomom?
Put some respect on my name.
She just had 8 kids?
I think she had like 13, but she had 8 at once.
Oh.
She's on the list.
That thing's dilating.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, 8 at once. I think, and it's something you and I have talked about before too. Like, I'm pretty sure she was heavily knocked up on fertility drugs.
What's up with, remember John and Kate plus 8?
Yeah.
I think they both cheated pretty hard.
Well, she should have. He was nothing. I thought she was out of his league.
Yeah, but
she was pretty good.
She had all them kids.
She did have all them kids.
Mm-hmm.
And she came up with that goofy ass haircut that everybody copied for a while.
And I think they got famous, and then he
just started tagging everyone.
Yeah, I think
in their
so.
orbit.
Yeah.
Hey, it's me. I'm John.
Man, I want that.
Do you?
Yeah, I want to tag everyone, man.
I don't believe you.
I'd be so into it.
I don't believe you at all.
I think you'd get to 2 and then be done.
My bedroom arsenal.
Yeah,
I've been saving up so much. Like, there's a lot of tread left on these tires. I haven't been wearing them out.
I still have that the pink horsepower or whatever it's called if you need it.
It's like your arm.
Yeah.
All the 90-mile-an-hour fastballs you have saved up by not throwing them all these years?
Mm-hmm.
My Ranger guy said if you could prove that you can throw 70, he'll put your name in for the first pitch that day.
Okay. He can't. There's no way you could throw 70. No way. Why are you shaking your head? Because you're too nervous to do the first pitch?
No, nervous. Me? I'm not nervous. I just.
They gotta have Jonah
I wish
set up
that
before the
there was a
plate.
time in my life where Dan believed in me.
Like, don't pitch off the mound, dude.
No, just stay in front of the mound.
Yeah.
No, he absolutely can throw 70. No doubt. Come over the top.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He's all
Dude,
elbow.
I was winging the shit out of that.
See, Jake
this
doesn't
weekend.
understand the reverse psychology I'm using on him.
All right. Middle C. You guys want me to play you a little tune over here?
Can we get a guy with a gun?
At his place.
We have the gun.
We may need video proof.
Yeah, we need to get out there.
You go out. I don't want to scout. I just want to show up as is.
I don't want you there.
Yeah.
No.
I don't want to see your arm angle.
When it goes 12-6, I want you to be.
You're not throwing curveballs.
You're going to be lucky to hit 60.
Okay.
I know my ball. Actor Bruce McGill.
What's he got?
He's from Animal House. He was born in San Antonio. I think that movie holds up, but I'm not sure. And I'd like to watch it again sometime in a theater near you.
I'm not a huge fan, but that's possibly more like on my end.
It might not hold up.
Yeah.
Like, I used to defend Dumb and Dumber, and then I've watched it, and it's like,
Yeah.
Holds up.
I mean, I sat next to you at Coming to America, and I wasn't arguing with you when you were like,
right.
Where's the good part? I'm like, this isn't what I remember.
Yeah.
Richie Sambora is 65.
That Bon Jovi?
Bon Jovi.
I think he's is he married to someone famous?
He was some
Heather Locklear?
Was that it? That sounds right.
Yeah. Northeast guy over here knows.
Scott Schreiner is 59.
Don't know it.
Weezer.
Jesus Christ, man.
What? You think that's low level for me to bring up?
No, I just feel like if the people in Weezer are 59, then I'm about to die.
Oh, yeah. Well, you are.
That hurts.
And two Lil rappers. Lil Zane, 43. Lil Kim, 50.
She's fat.
She's not fat. She's perfect. And
it's from a movie.
Oh.
What movie? Since we don't watch your movies and you don't watch ours.
Meet the Parents? I thought y'all were in on that.
Don't remember that line.
He will bring up a really obscure line, though, and then he'll prove it to me the next day it was in there, like the Step Brothers bit.
Tomorrow's open, yeah.
His luggage got lost. He needed some clothes from Danny. It was in his room because Danny was smoking weed on the roof. Comes in, there's a Little Kim poster. He's trying to act cool, and he's like, Little Kim, she's fat.
That's great information. Born on this day, now dead, John Quincy Adams, U.S. President number?
6.
Very good.
His dad was 2. He was 6.
Didn't they make a like an HBO show about him?
I think about the dad.
Oh, for real? Okay.
Yeah. It was with the son of A. Bartlett Giamatti. Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti?
Yeah, wasn't he John Adams?
Yeah, he's commonly just known as Paul Giamatti.
And Ludwig Stumpfegger, born on this day, now dead. He's Hitler's personal physician.
Fart guy.
Died on this day, still dead. George Gershwin.
Okay.
When did he die?
A lot later than I assume. Yeah.
Oh, am I telling?
Yeah, I think so.
1980.
I would have thought.
Yeah.
He and Beethoven were friends, perhaps.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe Christ.
Yeah. Brahms. Right? That's a name?
Yeah.
He died in 1937.
That's a lot later than I would have thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And died on this day in 1987, Tom Waddle, the founder of the Gay Olympics.
I don't know, dude. It's kind of like we were talking about the choir the other day, you know?
What? Like what?
If you're in the choir, you probably
No. Yeah.
Probably don't need a gay choir.
Yeah.
You're just saying the Olympics was the Gay Olympics?
And that was Today in History.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
Oh.
Well, we're now at that point. Tom Vendry. How do you say your last name?
Vendries.
Vendries.
Yes, sir.
It's probably a lot easier than I made it out to be. Thanks for having us, man. This is a good bit. Love your house.
This is a great house.
Now, it's been fantastic having you all here.
Can I move in?
Absolutely. You guys can have your show here anytime. And you could move in if you want. Work out.
I think I'm getting kicked out.
Of the rent house?
Just from my life.
Oh.
Tom emailed us on July 26th, 2023. Man, how they couldn't figure this out, I don't know.
Same.
You're pros.
And then
made no sense to
wanted us to come back to broadcasting on a different platform. And then we saw that email and we were like, oh, what a good idea.
That's a fantastic idea.
I had not thought of that at all. And then, interesting, Tom, then you went dark on us until like June of this year, and then you've peppered us with emails recently, compared to none.
Well, as things changed, that place you used to work at, I don't need to say who that was. I became more disenchanted.
Stay in front of the mic, kind of.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right,
If you're
sorry.
going off it.
I became more disenchanted with it. And when the freak came about, I said, okay, let me get behind this. And when that imploded, I followed you, on and off. But when that imploded, then I got all in behind you. And
see, that's funny because I'm interrupting you. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been looking at the sub numbers and everything, and it did have like a nice bump of a few hundred. And looking back, I'm saying the freak ending gave us a big bump, and now we're crawling along again. We're not generally going down, but we're not going up by 300 in a couple weeks. And so I know we were trying to figure out at the time, like, hey, we're doing some new social media stuff. We're doing this and that. And I think we just need more radio stations to go off the air. Yeah. And I think that's the real key.
Well, I think it's, what we all experience when we're all trying to make something happen and grow is going to require a lot of patience and grinding. I mean, it just does. And what you all have accomplished so far, because I started to look at the situation from, I don't really know anything about the podcast arena. So I just went into some numbers, and I'm sure you all know the numbers inside and out, but I don't know if a lot of people out there do. But 90% of podcasts that start don't make it past 3 episodes. And you're at 198.
Wow.
Okay? So this isn't an accident. This isn't like, we just got lucky. You guys are pros. You're coming in from a starting point where most people will never get to. I mean, you're seasoned producers. You're seasoned announcers in the top 5 market in the country, and you're very successful. So this all makes sense to me. The next stat that really jumped out at me, that only 10% make it to 50 episodes, which is an amazing stat.
Wait, I thought you just gave 90% don't make it past
90% don't
3.
get past 10.
And then 10%.
And then, yeah.
That makes sense.
10%, yeah.
Well, if you get past 10, you're
Oh,
gonna get
you're
to
saying
10.
so of that
That's
10% of the original
they only
100,
make it past 50.
Yeah.
only 10%
No,
of
they
that
don't-
10%.
And they don't have the content. They don't have the talent. And the other thing I noticed, because I tuned into a couple of different podcasts. I'm not a big podcast guy. I don't know how you guys consume as many TV shows and podcasts as you do. Just from my job and what I do, it's very time consuming. So I have to kind of pick something and go with it.
Mm-hmm.
And
I really do only have 1 or 2 podcasts that I regularly listen to the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then others I will chime in at, like, I'll listen to Windhorse every week. But, like, Jake will be like, did you see the low post? Oh, no, I didn't. Then I'll go if there's someone that I'm interested in.
That's pretty much how I am.
Yeah. So there's a lot there. And I think it's your experience and your preparation. People are not willing to put the time in. And you are. And this is true of just about every business I've been involved with. And in my experience is that there's a lot of people that say what they want to do and they never really do it. And you guys stepped away from a situation which was very safe. And others are going to be on the outside looking in by the time you're done. There's no doubt in my mind. So I just think it's fantastic.
I wish I had his confidence.
I know.
I was going to say, this guy's
no doubt.
He's got a cool house.
Well,
his wife is hot.
I didn't have a cool house, 25 years ago, and I didn't have any of that. But sustained focused and working your ass off and being relentless it really is the key. And I know a lot.
I don't know if we have those
say
things.
that you do. No, you do. And
Okay.
what's amazing to me is that over the years of listening to you, sitting in my car, after getting my ass kicked or whatever, trying to, make something happen, and you come up short. And at first I thought it was shtick. I almost feel like the way you handle a lot of situations, when somebody comes at you with something, just a fact, they'll say it as a fact, and you'll say, really? You really think so? Because I think this. It's almost like Dirk with his step back shot. Nobody's going to block that. And I don't know if that's a great analogy or not, but the way you come across from when I first started listening to you, I never would have thought you would have walked away. But the more I listened, I says, yeah. And actually, I thought you were going to leave when it was Bob and Dan, when you had an offer, which I believe was for more, to go elsewhere, and you stayed.
Yeah, what happened with that, Dan?
Yeah.
No, you're right. We were offered more to go elsewhere. Like, I've mentioned this a couple times. This is I'm not good at this. I keep taking the road to get paid
with
less
money. Yeah.
Like, this would have made sense, all the sense in the world, if Dan and Jake left because they were going to double their salaries.
Yeah.
When in fact,
what about a third?
There's only one guy here who's doubling his salary.
Damn it.
Well,
and the only punishment he gets is he has to admit that on the air and say, damn it, and act like he's upset about it when he goes home and, yeah,
Count money.
He's got a fur sink and a gold toilet.
Fur sink?
Well,
Never
as I
heard
said
that.
before, the sound quality from listening to other podcasts and listening to this
Now he wants to hear this.
is top shelf. I will say that.
Well, thanks for having us, man.
Yep. And can I just give you a couple of gifts real quick?
Of course,
absolutely.
yeah. Jake, I'm sorry,
want
Jake
to-
was trying to usher you on.
Yeah.
I'm really
Jake's
not.
awesome.
This is
Yeah.
closing
You can't turn
Really?
me against Jake or anybody in this room.
This is closing remarks, and these are
Closing
yours,
remarks.
Tom.
The first thing I
Van
have,
Dries.
and I wanted Jennifer to be here for this first one, and this is for the den. I think that's very appropriate.
Hell yeah.
For
That
the
is
den.
a six-pack of Moosehead beer.
Yes.
With giant moose on it.
We're
Yeah,
big-
can I put that in our studio on the shelf
Absolutely.
behind me?
This is for you. Yes.
Although
And,
I could drink those during
now-
the
For
Cowboy
you.
stream.
I understand that none of you are big drinkers, and clearly neither am I. But
We're in
Jake's
a bar.
a bit of a drinker.
But I wanted to give you, I went out to the store and there's gifts. I didn't know what to get. But if any of you drink tequila, this is a fantastic tequila Patron. It's an agave cooked over charcoal for a smooth, smoky taste. That's
the thing about the charcoal, Dan. Smoky.
Yeah.
Right. And I also and for the maybe it's for the guests that come.
Oh, nice.
There's a little goose.
Yeah,
a
lot of goose.
If you like the goose there, and
I would do vodka before I do tequila. Generally,
Jake said, rather,
because you can drink a vodka and orange juice and be healthy.
And maybe for the guests when they come to the den, we give them a little extra beer for that. There,
this will last us an entire football season.
You can have any beer you want.
As long as it's a Corona.
Right.
A huge case of Corona. Yeah. Jeez, dude.
Yeah, and on top of that, I really think if any of you drink tequila and you don't like it, try this because it might turn you.
Okay.
All right?
So you're trying to encourage us to drink more. You're like, hey, guys.
I didn't know what else to get you. I'm not cool enough to go out and find this, perfect thing and all. But my favorite was the moose head. I lit up when I saw that because that's big in this household. So...
Moosing?
There you go.
Moosing?
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where's Jennifer?
Well, thanks for having us.
Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. I hope to do it again
mofo.
sometime. And I'll say this. Duke the other night, if we're still on, Duke the other show on, I think it was on Tuesday.
Yeah, Duke was
He was outstanding. What he read off to you is all true. That was beautiful.
Okay.
So, good job.
So thumbs up to the other, the 690 sit-in. All right.
Adios, mofo.
Yeah. And then you got pretty good at looking at their profiles and finding out, oh, she's the fat one in the group. Anything from collarbones up, fat. Jeez. If her first picture is a group photo, she's the ugly one. And, if it's a far away picture, like she's doing something like, look at me, I'm shooting a gun or something, she's ugly. Because hot girls will show off. So yeah, big sunglasses. That's a go. You know what's under there. So yeah, just save yourself some time. Fat. Because hot girls will show off. And she's ugly. Fat. So yeah, big sunglasses. Fat. And she's ugly. Because hot girls will show off. Just save yourself some time. Because hot girls will show off. Her first picture is a group photo. She's the ugly one. Fat. And she's ugly. Just save yourself some time. Because hot girls will show off. So yeah, big sunglasses.